Good morning. How are y'all? Pepper, Marsha, Sunny Side Up, Puss in Boots. And give people a few more minutes to come in and I'll start. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Honor, Poke and Ash. Coffee chat. Lord. Just for the record, I hate doing this. I hate going live on YouTube. I don't want to be on YouTube like that. But I feel like it's the only way I can have a voice when, you got people lying on you and running around and twisting things and flip flopping this, that, that story. It's ridiculous. All right, so let's start. All right, so I don't know how many people remember about a year and a half ago, there was a troll running around with this story that I had 3 girls and a son that I gave up for adoption and that I wasn't in his life and that I didn't claim him. And how dare I raise my 3 girls, but not pretty much give my son a chance, that I just walked away from him. That was the story that this troll was putting out back when I was in Laura's Patreon. And it might have been right after I left Laura's Patreon that this troll was running with this story on the YouTube streets. So Laura had came to me and asked me, did I have a son that I gave up for adoption or that I had a son that I walked away from? And I was mind blown. I had no clue what Laura was talking about. So last night, there was a comment made by nobody but other than Makeup Mobster that I have 3 girls and a son that I give no shits about. Not exactly her verbatim. Her verbatim, I believe, was I have 3 girls and 1 son I don't give a shit about. And that I'm an asshole. So, number one, I've never had a son biologically. I've never gave birth to a son. I've gave birth to 3 girls. I have a grandson. I don't have a son that I gave birth to. I do have a son, however, that I raised since he was 4 years old. I was very active in his life, my husband and I both. We had him 1 week. His mother had him 1 week until his mother moved a couple hours away to get her master's and become a nurse practitioner. And because of the distance, we only seen him 3 times a month, 3 weekends out the month. I raised my son just like I raised my girls. I love my son, Nick, no more than I love my girls. When I say 3 girls as my YouTube name, I didn't know that I had to put 1 son in there to clarify if I care about him or I don't care about him. Right, Marsha. I've never referred to him as my stepson. He's not my stepson. He's my son. I've raised the boy since he was 4. I thought kids are off limits, man. So as she makes this comment about my son and my girls, there's 2 other people on panel with her, and Starlight kind of giggled. Hello, Starlight. We've been in Discords. We've had conversations on voice calls. Why would you not correct her? Why would you not put the truth out there? Instead of letting that just lay for 2,000 people to hear. You know, I hear y'all say kids are off limits, kids are off limits, kids are off limits. No, it's y'all's kids are off limits. I can tell you one thing I've never done. I've never called my son names. Never bitched about him being around. My son's very successful, very proud of him. We don't get to see him as often. He's an underwater welder. He's gone for months at a time. But we're very involved in his life and his wife's life. Matter of fact, my husband and him are taking a trip to Montana across country on the 29th of this month. So don't speak of something you don't know anything about, Makeup Monster. How about just keep my son's name out of your mouth? Worry about your kid. Worry about your life. Don't worry about mine. You don't know anything about mine. But I just find it funny that that story's put out there about 1.5 years ago. And the same things the troll were saying, you kind of made the same remark last night. That I got 3 girls and a son I don't give a shit about. Am I saying it's you? I don't know. You can take it however you want to take it. Let's move on. Let me look at the chat. No, I have 3 grown children, Tiffany. My son will be 25 on the 29th of this month. And him, like I said, him and his dad are driving to Montana, see my husband's best friend. And his son that my son grew up with. They'll be gone for 3 weeks. Takes almost a week to get there in a car. I'm not going because I have to stay back with the little one because we do have a 6-year-old that's still in school and I have a job. So, and I was just off because the little one had her tonsils removed. So I've been off the last couple of weeks taking care of her. But we have him. Then I have a 24-year-old daughter who's got a baby, my grandson. My son's married. And then I have a 19-year-old who goes to a pretty good college, and this is her 2nd year in. And then we have the 6-year-old that's home with us. The 2 older girls were by a relationship that I had from 13 until I was 22. We started dating in middle school. And we ended that relationship when I was 22. And Nick came from my husband's first relationship. The 6-year-old is ours together. So there's a 14-year difference between Des, my 19-year-old, and the 6-year-old. So I don't even know why she would speak on my kids. I don't even know what prompted her to say such. I don't speak of her. I don't talk of her. I don't watch her. I don't bother her. I've said 1,000,000 times, I give her credit for her grief series. It helped me a lot through when I lost my mom. That's what brought me to YouTube in the first place. I've said this 100 times. And I found her grief series, and it helped me through me being the executor of my mom's estate and going through the process and the emotions and the process of everything you got to go through. And I've gave her credit for that. I personally think she's changed. I don't watch her. I think she's vile. I think she's mean. I think she's cruel to people. She says things I would never say about people or do to people. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. But I don't speak on her, and I definitely wouldn't speak on her child. So I don't understand why she thinks she's capable of doing that to me, or that she can do that to me. So we can lay that rumor to rest, that I don't have a son, that I gave up for adoption, or that I'm not a part of his life, or that I care about my girls more than him. When I look at my family dynamics, my son and my husband are our girls. They're our protector. That's the way that our family dynamics are. So it's me and the girls, my husband and the son. They take care of us girls, always have. That's the way I look at it. I don't feel like I even have to explain this, but I want it out there because it was dropped and 2,000 people heard it. So I want it corrected. Thank you, Dova. So I guess the next thing we can move on to was last week, it was said that me and Tiffany were looking into this guy, Eric, real life. And I didn't say anything. I let it go. And it went from chat to chat to chat to chat. It was brought up in every chat. I mean, I got screenshots of it brought up in Randy's. It was brought up in Wendy's. It was brought up. I believe it was brought up over Mandy Lynn's. That never happened. I never said I was looking in anybody's life. So a comment was taken, twisted, sliced, and diced to fit a narrative that never was true. What I said was, if you're looking into everybody else's backgrounds and we're protecting the community, has anybody looked into his? That was my comment. And Tiffany came back and said, I'm on it. I'm researching it, because I had said the diaper part in my comment. She was talking about researching the psychology of what he claims he has. That's as far as it went. End of. Period. Exclamation point. Nobody was looking into his real life. Nobody said they were. So quit that shit. Quit lying. Then we'll move on. So BTS comes up on Tracy's panel the other day, and they're having words. I'm not really sure what's going on. And the truth says to me, she says, hey, mommy of three, Galloway, Puss in Boots, y'all, well, why don't you go clip what was said on TNT's panel for me, because she knows we can clip, and she doesn't know how. Well, I'm in the stream. BTS sees me in her stream. Instead of asking me right there, she hops off of that stream, within minutes posts a clip on her channel and writes in the description that I get nothing right and I need to take a seat, and puts my name in her description. Well, I say this, BTS, if you had something to say to me, I was right there in Tracy's stream. You could have said what you needed to say right then. But we all know why you didn't. I didn't tell Tracy anything. So, again, you got it wrong. I was just asked to go clip something. So don't tell me to sit.
I heard what she said. I just wanted the clip to prove it.
Right. And I guess she assumed I told you, and assuming you make an ass out of yourself. They're BTS.
Well, so I made a comment that must have sent Makeup Mobster off her freaking rocker, because at 1 a.m. they're still, because I have a stalker. Steph is my stalker. So I'm just going to block her, and that way she has to go into one of her alt accounts to see what I'm saying, because I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of this girl following me around YouTube everywhere I go to take screenshots. Now, the comment I made, and you would have thought that I said something so horrible, the way that they drugged me last night, the way that Makeup Mobster drugged me last night, This is what I said. Has she ever had cancer? Question mark. Has she ever dealt with addiction? Question mark. Has she ever experienced domestic violence? Question mark. Has she ever been through anything more than a bitch sister-in-law? Now, that's what I said. Was that a shady jab at the end? Yeah, it was. It was. But that required a live stream calling me saying that little bitty comment caused so much grief that now I'm going to be their focus. Okay. Now I'll be their focus for a while, and that's okay. They need something to talk about. You know, they're getting tired of talking about Laura. They're getting tired of talking about Tiffany. They're getting tired of talking about Jules. So I'll be their target for a while. It makes me no, never mind. I know
I don't
who I
even know
am.
where this Steph girl came from. I don't even know her. I've never said boo to her. But she knows everything and anything about everybody. She's got a clip to everything, a screenshot to everything. And, she makes a comment last night because she's, of course, in my business, like she knows it all. And she says, well, in the Discords I'm in, if we were to drop anything with a name or a picture, we would be booted immediately. Right,
Bullshit.
Mandy Lynn?
Oh,
Right,
wait a minute.
Starlight?
Oh, wait a minute.
Bullshit.
Let me tell you something. Something's probably about to come out because Marianne has there's 5 moles. And there's something that's going to come out that's not going to set well with RDA, Marianne. Okay? So remember, you got 5 moles in there.
She doesn't want to be tortured anymore.
Leave me alone.
Hey, drop it. Look.
Well, and they're going after Tracy for it. And it was and then Makeup Mobster. Why would she drop something like that? Listen here, asshole. Wasn't it you just sitting on a panel yesterday putting out Laura's business about her job and how she was cut to part-time and how she was fired?
Kelly Kramer, I did not bring up her grandmother until she came at me.
There's that devil. There's that devil.
Kelly Kramer, would you like to take a link?
I love Kelly
I
Kramer.
never said a damn word about her grandmother until she came at me. And I still only said, I'm sorry for the loss of her grandmother.
I want to say that I was sleeping and I woke up and I said, oh my God. I flipped around. They were on my live thing and I listened for 30 seconds. And this is what I heard. Hello, Starlight saying, where's the outrage? Tracy actually said to a sick person, catch your breath. Bitch, please. I had been on a tear, on a rant. It was a joke between friends. It was not an insult, and she knew I needed to take a breath. And so they were doing a reaction to my video. So I took it down, privated it for about 5 minutes. I put it back up. I've got 300 views since I put it back up, bitch.
Exactly, Tiffany Marie. Mandolin wouldn't allow pictures in her Discord, but they had one of Tiffany in the hospital. She even used it as an avatar on her panel, but they wouldn't allow that. Be careful what you say you don't allow.
They better be very careful. Very careful. And see, they know I'm not the type of person to drop screenshots. They know I'm not that type of person.
Right.
They know that. But if you push me back in the corner far enough, I will come out swinging. And that is your warning. Remember X-Files. And that's all I'm going to say to you girls. You better leave me the fuck alone.
I know it wasn't Tiffany. I know. They just want us to go back and pull the live and check who said it. I'm not going to waste my time. I know who said it.
So,
but here's the thing. I never thought serendipity, if you're out there listening, I never, ever, ever thought that you would take private conversations and share them with Diane or whoever you've shared them with. But remember, you were in those private conversations.
Right. She didn't have a problem with them then.
So make sure your hands are clean. Make sure you fessed up to all of the people. Because don't forget, we have them too. So if you want to give clips of private conversations on Tiffany to somebody, to Diane, to whoever, just remember, we have them too.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure to go ahead and go and confess to everybody what you said and did.
Well, and the thing about it is Mandy Lynn, Mandy Lynn knows how to get up with me. Mandy Lynn has known me almost 3 years. If I did it, I'll tell you I did it. If I said it, I'll tell you I said it. That's just who I am. She knows that. So she could have hit me up and said, hey, did you drop my photo by chance, or Starlight's mugshot by chance in a Discord, or, and gave me a chance
what did I say?
Explain that.
What did I say the minute I saw him? Because I don't live in Discord. What did I say to you? What did I say, Mommy of 3? Please take those out of here.
Right. But yeah, the plan was
it mean that I'm not going to be your friend anymore? The whole thing behind those screenshots was Laura's Patreon chats, which have been around the world and back.
Right.
They've been in the hands of people that should have never, ever had them.
Right.
But the whole point was what was said.
Starlight just threatening to drop them a couple of weeks ago?
All the time.
Right.
You know what? All the fucking time.
Why are you sitting on chats that weren't even yours for over 2 years? And you're going to cry about somebody dropping a screenshot out of them? And it had nothing to do with you or Mandy Lynn. And had Mandy Lynn had came to me, or Starlight had came to me and said, hey, what's up with this? I would have had a chance to explain. It had nothing to do with Mandy Lynn. It had nothing to do with Starlight. I was trying to prove a lie back then. I think it was almost a year ago, that Laura had told, and their pictures just happened to be on the same screenshots. I thought about cropping them. I thought, well, they're public. Mandy Lynn's gone live with those same pictures. I've got proof. She's put them out on her Facebook. Starlight's mugshot has been all over YouTube. She's friends with the people that dropped the mugshot originally.
Yeah.
So I thought, they're not private pictures. They're public. They've made them public. So yeah, I don't need to crop them. And as soon as I dropped them, I showed that it wasn't a lie about Laura and retracted the messages within seconds. They were not in that Discord no longer than seconds. Just to prove Laura wasn't being honest at that point. It had nothing to do with Mandy Lynn or Starlight. Their pictures just happened to be on the same screenshot. And why would I crop them when them themselves have put it out to the YouTube world, not once, not twice, not 3 times, many fucking times. So don't cry to me about a fucking picture that I dropped in a Discord that you put on fucking streams and lives for the public view to see themselves, Starlight and Mandy Lynn. Because I give 2 fucks.
Well, I'm sure there's because they don't realize who's in their Discord, but I'm sure there's going to be some things that are going to be coming out soon that they're not going to like. It's not going to shine pretty on them. Making fun of disabled people. It's not going to be nice. So keep it up, guys. Keep handing over private conversations and shit like that, and see where it gets you.
Well, Remy, they can, or Nene, they can say that all they want to. Mommy of 3 works. Mommy of 3 don't even want to do this YouTube shit like this. But when you keep lying, I'm not going to put Marsha and say, hey, let me use your panel. Hey, Tracy, let me use your panel. And put them in the middle and have them be attacked. because I have to come and defend myself against fucking lies or twisted up narratives that these people want to run. And when you mention my kids, I have a fucking problem with that. I've got a big problem with that.
Yes.
I don't blame
Because
you.
kids are off limits. My son is not on YouTube. He works. He don't care no two shits about this YouTube stuff. Thank God they don't. None of my kids do.
Mine thinks I'm crazy. He's like, I can't. Who are you talking to? You just get on there and talk to total strangers. I was like, yeah, pretty much. Because he uses YouTube for music. That's his YouTube experience, is he uses it for music.
Now, I will say Mandy Lynn was not on that panel when it was said. I will say that. I'm going to put that out there. Mandy Lynn had jumped down. She was not on that panel, but Starlight was on there, and so was Steph. Kids are off limits. Nobody can even say, you got kids, go take care of them and get off of YouTube. And they're having a complete fucking shit
meltdown. Yep.
But you're going to let somebody sit on a panel and say, I don't give two shits about one of my children? Fuck you, makeup mobster. How about that?
Well, I know that I talked to you in private, and I've never heard you refer to your child as a bastard. So there's that.
No, they have to call each other. I imagine there were calls going around this morning, make sure they all wear the same shade of pink. It's Wednesday. Mean girl pink. And I did take, and I want to say this because I'm sure it was said and I just didn't listen, because guess what I did? I went back to sleep. And I slept good. But here's the point. They were upset. She says, I got Steph. I don't know Steph. It's the first time I've ever said her name publicly. I got it recorded. Girl, I told you, or something like that. I don't care what you record. I don't care. It's still copyrighted and you have no content, zero of your own. Makeup Monster lays back on her laurels from her series. When's the last time she put one out? They have no content but to bitch, moan, groan, and go for anybody who does anything.
Well, I'm not doing this back and forth with them.
No, I'm not either.
I did this shit with Brian. I did this shit with Laura. I'm not doing it anymore. So guess what? I'm just going to put this out there. I've never struck a channel.
I haven't either.
I have never I've never struck a channel in any form. But Steph, I'm telling you specifically, and your friends, if you use my material again, I'm going to strike you. Okay?
And I just find it right. And they use my first live as content.
Yeah. Yep.
I do want to say that Makeup Monster also referred to me as Skeletor.
Yeah.
She's a fine one to speak. Has your body been on public?
Right. You've seen me from neck up. So now you're bringing up a son. You're talking about, are you digging into my life? How do you know what I look like? How do you know I even had a son? Since my avatar's a mom and 3 girls. How did you know I even had a son? Why are you worried about my business like that?
Well, she's gone into 3 different Patreons under 3 different. Well, she used Lacey tried to get into mine. I don't know what she used to try to get into Kiki's, and I don't know what she used to get into Molly's. But she really didn't have to use a fake name. If she paid me the $20 a month, I'd let her in.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna step down. Last night, the whole reason I privated that and brought it back up is because that's what they did to Tiffany the other day. Tiffany was doing a reaction. She was giving her
that.
I do too. And what did they do? Meanwhile, she took it down. I don't know if she ever put that one back up. I put mine up in 5 minutes. I just wanted them to know that I saw her and knew what they were doing up there.
I do that. I do that to Laura all the time. When Laura will be running my material,
right,
I'll
but
run
you
over
had
and
a
make it private.
People don't see something wrong with a grown woman sitting over there saying, I love doing that stuff to Tiffany. It just oh, it makes me happy. I love pissing her off. I love doing it. Every chance I can get to do it, I'll do it because it just gets me off. I love it. I love it.
One sick bitch is what
You're
that
a
is.
Well,
sick
I got to be
person.
honest. I kind of laughed when I did it to Laura. I mean,
No, she was saying
I
attacking
didn't
her,
I
you
didn't
know,
rub it in
going,
like
making
that, but
comments,
I did kind of
going
giggle.
low, knowing that it gets to Tiffany, knowing that it hurts Tiffany, the things that she says, that she loves doing it because she knows it bothers her, it hurts her, you know, even bringing up her grandmother. But you're going to cry about somebody talking about yours?
Well, this is it, and I'm getting down for sure. Hey, Steph, I copied yours too. I've downloaded yours too. Bye.
Ah,
Well, like I said, I'm not going to go back and forth. Makeup Mobster, if you want to use me for your material for a couple days, feel free. Go ahead. Um, Trust me, nothing you say gets to me. It really doesn't.
she definitely was, Tiffany. And, you know, look, we've all done stuff on here we're not proud of. We've all said stuff that we shouldn't have said at one given moment. Okay. We've all done it. I've done it. I'm not perfect. I've owned it. I've said I've done it. And like I said, I'm that type of person. And Mandy Lynn and them know that. If I done it, I said it, I'll tell you I done it, and I'll tell you I said it. That's just who I am. I don't drop screenshots. I don't share stuff unless I'm backed in a corner and I have to prove my innocence. And that's exactly what I did with that one screenshot. But it had nothing to do with Mandy Lynn or Starlight. But if you
Yeah.
want to play the game of what's in everybody's Discord, Steph, and you want to back truth up in the corner with, oh, you have a mo, you have a mo, we can play the Discord game. We can.
I don't have them
Because they
all.
need not forget who built their Discords. They need not to forget we were in those Discords. Steph, you were not. So stop speaking on shit, girl, you know nothing about. You were never
Yeah,
in a
because
Discord with me.
she's gonna get people in a bad position running her mouth about shit she knows nothing about.
I just find it funny that she falls from the sky, Chicken Little drops her from the damn sky, and she's here 1 minute, here what she wasn't here 1 minute, and she knows everything about everybody. And every time I see the girl, she's repeating what somebody said, stirring the pot, licking the spoon. She's got clips to everything, knows everything, just like with this cheesecake bullshit. Running this narrative that Laura owes her money. By your own proof, Laura owes you shit.
Laura paid for it and didn't even have to. Come on. I don't give Laura a lot of credit, but she paid for the freaking cheesecakes. Quit calling her a cheesecake scammer, especially when you're handing clips to somebody that scammed the community for thousands. You're handing clips to a woman that scammed the community for thousands of dollars, and you're concerned about a couple cheesecakes?
Right.
Throw your
And
paper
like
on my way. I'll buy you a freaking cheesecake.
Like Bless the Mess said last night, these communities were built and founded off of outing scammers and getting them out of here. And here you've got these mothers.
Yep.
These mothers supporting a woman who stole thousands of dollars from sick babies, possibly dying babies that are fighting for their lives every single minute of the day. Not just an hour of the day, not just 30 minutes of the day, and every minute of the day fighting for the next breath. And you disgusting mothers are supporting that shit. And you want to talk about something else? No, I want to talk about that. So if you're tired of hearing it, oh well. I'm going to talk about it till the day that bitch is out of this community.
Preach it, girl. Preach it.
Don't know what to tell you.
Hallelujah. Can I get a hallelujah from you? Can I please get a hallelujah? I'm just kidding. Just lightening it up a little bit.
But we're going to talk about some damn cheesecakes.
I know, right? Laura scammed people over cheesecakes. We don't care that Diane scammed the community and kept, little sick children from getting possible treatment, or, we don't care about that. We're tired of talking about that. But Laura scammed people out of cheesecakes. If you're that upset over a
Makeup
cheesecake,
Mobster.
hit
I
me
think
up.
we need to see the receipts that she even ordered the cheesecakes. But this is the same person that said
Thank you,
Diane
Minnie.
don't really have to prove anything. Do you realize how stupid you people sound?
It really is. I mean, you got to almost laugh, though. And I'm laughing. I'm laughing.
It's comical at this point with those people. It is comical.
Laura did send Leanna $100 and said, give it to Hummingbird and Steph and to keep the rest. Now, if Hummingbird and Steph said, no, Makeup Mobster, you just keep it, then you need to shut up. Case closed.
But the thing is Laura didn't owe Steph anything. Steph showed receipts to where she ordered it through the company. So Laura has said, call the company. Your money never went through my hands.
I hope you're doing better.
Saying that the $100 didn't cover. Laura still owes Makeup Mobster another $30 to give to Hummingbird and Steph for their cheesecake. So Laura shorted them $30 because YouTube's going to take the 30 or 40% out, and that's not going to cover it. It wasn't for Steph. Laura owes Steph nothing. And I'm not believing that you paid through the company, but Laura was supposed to fill out an order form. That would be on the same website that you paid for them for. You would have filled all that out.
I'd just like to say that I'm still
2
praying
years
for
ago
you.
That just trashed us for talking about Laura. I'm sick of hearing Laura. If I'm not mistaken, that's why Ash and Starlight and everybody broke away from Makeup Mobster. Because she was tired of hearing about Laura. But in the same breath, she is obsessed with Molly every day. Make that make sense. So that's what caused the divide a year ago with these people. And now everything that we or other people said, now she's saying about Laura, and everybody's supposed to take her for her word.
Yeah, like I said, if I need to be the content for the next few days, I'm okay with it. I really am. Just do what you got to do, because the more people that dislike you and you talk about me, they come to my channel. So
right, I just didn't want you to keep getting heat, or them, and I don't even know why you were even getting heat over something that I put in a Discord that was public pictures that they've showed themselves several times over, and are friends with the same people that gave the pictures to the Patreon chat. They were friends with Laura just a month or so ago. They were wrenches for Molly not even 2 months ago.
Well, I'm not going to take the heat because, like I said, I don't live in Discord. As soon as I saw them, I said, would you please remove them? And you did. I was, as soon as they were gone, I was like, okay. And only because, I don't have a Discord like that. My Discord is so boring that Makeup Mobster got up on a panel one night and spoke about how boring my Patreon Discord is. That means she got in somehow. But hey, I got $5 or $10 from her until she was figured out. Lacey. Not laced with Lacey.
Do you have a way to get up with Tiffany?
Yeah, I think I can.
Can you drop her a link? I don't know how to do it, or I would.
I don't know how. Hold on, let me see. You don't know how to drop a link? You must be on your phone, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, Pepper just dropped it. Thank you. See, Pepper to the rescue, always. Which I'm going to get down anyways, because I don't really have a whole lot to say. What I have to say is I'm not going back and forth with these people for the next year or two, like I did with Brian, like I did with Laura. I'm not doing it. You're not that interesting. But if people are going to start handing out private chats and private conversations, make sure your hands are clean. Make sure your hands are clean, because they're not. And when people find out what you said in there and what you did, it's probably going to cause a little disruption in your friendships. So just stop with dropping private shit. Stop with sending private messages. It's just not, it's not cool. And if Tiffany has to out everything, well, then, you know, that's on Tiffany. She has to do what she has to do.
I'm not blaming Sarah for giving the screenshot to Mandy Lynn or Starlight. I don't know who gave it to them, but
no. I'm talking about something totally
make sure
different.
that when you give someone a screenshot, that you're honest about what was going on. I mean, we can take a screenshot and make it anything we want to make it. So whoever gave them that screenshot gave them a bullshit story and made it something it wasn't. So thank you for doing that.
What makes a Discord boring? I'll tell you, Sunnyside, we don't dox. We don't look people up in my Discord.
Not that many people in yours. It's a very small.
There's like 7 or 8 people in it. It's cool. I like it.
Right. And they waited a whole year. That's what I say too. Whoever it was that shared it with Mandy Lynn and Starlight, if you felt it was so wrong and oh my God, it was just terrible, why did you sit on it so long? Why didn't you run right to them and give it to them the day it happened? Why did you sit on it?
Well, it had to be 1 or 2 people, and I'm going to call it out. It was either Sarah or Just For You. So, there you go.
So why'd you sit on it if it was so terrible and shouldn't have been done, and it just bothered you that much that you had to run and tell it and switch it all up and make your narrative that you wanted to run with? Why didn't you take it to them the day it happened? Because you knew there was nothing to it and it was gone within seconds, long enough to prove my point that Laura wasn't being honest in the moment a year ago, and bam, it was gone. That's why. It had nothing to do with Mandy or Starlight.
Nope.
It wasn't private pictures that I went and dug for or that I had to go digging into their real lives to get. It's public pictures they've posted on a live themselves.
Yep.
I've got proof that if I have to drop it in the video, I will.
They're gone, so they can quit crying about that. But please, please, please don't sit there and say that you all don't have things like that in your Discord, because as of last count, they've got 5 moles, and you just really never know who's sitting next to you. And with that, I'm going to jump down. I'm going to let Tiff come up. My battery's going dead, so thank you, Mommy at 3, and preach it, girl, preach it. I love when you go live. All right, I'm jumping down.
Bringing up Tiffany, my damn kids.
Come on up. Yeah, leave people's kids alone, damn it.
Yeah. I mean, if kids are off limits, kids are off limits. If I've missed the memo to where we can now go after kids, somebody needs to let me know, because I've missed that memo. Because, I mean, we can, I guess, can make it happen. If we're going to go low, we might as well go low, right? Leave my kids out of it. They are not on YouTube. They have nothing to do with my YouTube. So I don't even know why you brought them up last night, Makeup Mobster, or who you think you are, saying how I feel about my kids or don't feel about them. Like you're up in my damn personal life. I can tell you this. My son at 20, soon to be 25, has more than your ass has at your age. So worry about you. Don't worry about him. That's all right, Tiffany. I'll wait for you. Right. And I don't want to put them out there, Kiki, but I mean, if I have to put them out there to prove that they were shown by them a year or so ago on lives, I will. You know, and the main person that dropped the mugshot to begin with, they're friends with now. So, you know, cry me a river. I don't know what to tell you. They just happen to be on something that I shared to prove that something wasn't true in the moment. Prove my point, retracted it within seconds. If that's the worst you got, then I don't know what to tell you. But don't sit up there and say, oh my God, if that was us, we would be booted immediately. Steph, you don't know me. You've never been in a Discord with me. I don't know you. I don't care to know you. I see what I see. That's enough for me. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. Don't cause a head-on collision, because I am not the one that's going to sit back and let you run narratives on me. I'm not the one. What's up, girl?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
My first time ever on your panel. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm happy to be up here. I'm so happy you have a channel. So
like using it. It's very,
I
yeah, I don't want to drag other people into it, but when I'm being backed in a corner, lies are being told, I let the crap go last week with the Eric crap and the BTS running her narrative on trade. I let all that go. But when you go and go is bringing up my kids, we got a problem.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know that was said. I ignore a lot of things. And I know that it's hard when it's your kid being talked about, right?
Right.
Like the other day, and I haven't brought attention to it. I didn't say anything about it. But the other day, Leanna had made a comment and she said, she does nothing but sit at home all day, smoking weed in the house with her son there. And I just about fell out. And I'm thinking, did she really just say this? Like, is she fucking serious right now? She knows that that's not true. She knows she knows that I'm not a loser parent. Okay, number one. It's always like a running joke, Tiffany's a pothead, this, that, and the other thing. You know what? I'd rather be a pothead than be stuck on pharmaceuticals for the rest of my life. Okay.
Right.
Now, as far as my child goes, I don't bring him here. I don't discuss him here. And I can tell you, he had never smelled marijuana, ever. Never in my house.
Just say you baby, and that you're an awesome parent. And so how do you go from that to this?
You know what? I have no idea, but just that statement alone, what's she trying to get to happen? First of all, I have a medical license, okay? I don't even grow because I don't want to do that here. I could, but I don't want to because I don't feel comfortable. I have a kid here. Maybe when he moves out, but like his friends that come over, and when you grow, people smell that. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, not that it's anybody's business, but I feel like why not? I might as well rectify this. Never given her any indication that I smoke around my child. I've never even smoked cigarettes in his presence unless I'm outside. I do not smoke cigarettes in my house, never have. Okay. And I do not ever spark up a joint in my house. I do not smoke in my house. My son has asthma. So for her to even say that I smoke around my son, lie right there, because he has asthma and I would never smoke in my house. I have a vape pen. So not sure if she's talking about that, but that's not around my son. There's no smoke in my house. So she's lying to people saying that I smoke in my child's presence. When? Where's proof of that? For me, it's my medicine. Okay. And I don't view it in a negative light, but there are a lot of people that do. Not everybody's okay with cannabis use. Now, I want to kind of like segue into something else, because for me personally, whatever you want to say that I smoke around my child, that's a complete lie. You're lying. I would never sit here. First of all, I wouldn't even talk about her kid and tell the truth. Never mind talk about her kid and tell a lie on her about her kid. That's the difference between her and I, but we'll just, we already know. I think it's been established type of person she is. Secondly, I know it wasn't brought up here yet, and that's why I came up. It is a dangerous accusation to make about a mother, your main girl. I agree with you. I was shocked. I was completely shocked that when I heard her say it. I had to back up and listen to it again. And I'm like, wow, is she fucking serious right now? Yes, she's serious. So
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
I want to say it was the day before yesterday. I can't really remember. Kiki, you can come up and crack jokes. Go ahead. I can use a laugh. Oh, don't feel like because I'm up here, you can't come up. Come up. But I wanted to bring up Irish Gal because so Irish Gal has been in this community for a very long time, as long as I've been here. Okay. Steph, she is a very good woman. Okay. Just like us. She's had her issues in our community, right? We all have. None of us are perfect. I even had an Irish Gal a long time ago, but we worked through it. And Irish Gal is she's a very forgiving person. She doesn't try to hurt people. She's very kind. She's always trying to help. If someone's in despair, she'll be right there. She wants to help people. She's a very good lady. Now, Irish Gal suffers from chronic debilitating pain, and I'm not going to get into her history because it's not my place to discuss it. But Steph, if you knew what that woman has endured in her life, and if you knew some of the root causes of her current pain today, you would feel so ashamed for lashing out at her the way that you did, because you have no idea what she has suffered and lived through and survived. So shame on you, okay, for calling her a drug addict. Irish Gal is not a drug addict. She's actually trying to manage debilitating pain. So for you to call her an addict because she uses cannabis, okay, or CBD gummies or whatever she wants to use is such a pity. Okay. And if she needs to take Xanax or anxiety medication, if you knew why she was on that medication, you would probably apologize. I would hope you would apologize. It is no one's place to discuss Irish Gal being an addict because she is not an addict. I've had many conversations with Irish Gal about her pain, about her conditions, and about what happened to her in her life. And I am so upset that they did that to her last night. And I wanted to come up here to give her a voice because I think she's sleeping. I know she was up really late. And I checked on her and I messaged her to make sure she was all right. She didn't get back to me until like 4 a.m. and I was sleeping. So she was very touched. She thanked me for reaching out. She said she didn't want to bother me. You know what she said? She's like, Tiffany, you go through so much that I didn't want to bother you. I didn't want to complain to you. I didn't want to, bother you with this. And just like makes me sick to my stomach that anybody in this community who suffers, who's disabled, who has medical conditions that are beyond their control, that they didn't cause, they can't cure them, they didn't cause it, they can't fix it, it's not their fault. But for you to turn around and call a chronic pain patient an addict when they are prescribed medication, that is the very reason why people in this country are not afforded the same rights as others to get pain medication, anxiety medication, because you put that stigma on people. That is a major problem. And I will not stand for anybody attacking Irish Gal. Okay, she's a very good woman. She's also a lot older than all of us. And she deserves a little bit more respect than that. And you know what I thought was so sick and disgusting? And even I had to reflect because I'm just as guilty, okay? I raised my hand. I am just as guilty. Back in the day, I attacked Marsha. We had our own issues. I never told her, I never said the words, is she dead yet? That was not me. So for the asshole that said that last night and then Steph ran with it and the panel ran with it, go fact check, okay? That wasn't me. But I will say I am guilty of fighting with older people, okay? Tracy is one of them. I disrespected Tracy numerous times. But Tracy and I heard them say last night, oh, I don't think that they've ever hashed out any of their issues. I don't think that any of these people have even discussed the issues and asked if they could move past them. You have no idea the conversations that we've all had with one another to move past things and to move on. We've all done that. We've already gone through those motions. We've already hashed out all of the things that have happened, apologized, and said, let's move on together. We're stronger together than apart. And we're all good people. So, but listening to them attack Tracy and Irish Gal, these women are, I don't want to call Tracy elderly because I don't think that she is yet. I think she's younger than elderly, but she is my elder. She's Steph's elder. She's Makeup Mobster's elder. As we know, there's not much respect for the elderly around here.
Hey, Court.
Huh?
I was talking to Court. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I know I'm like jabberjaws right now.
No,
I'll get
good.
it all out and then I'll zip it. Listen, like I said, I'm guilty of it. I've done it before, but I've grown. It's been a while. And to watch Steph, who none of us even know, we don't know where she came from. I mean, how long she even been here? Less than a year. And she's up there calling out shots. The way she talks is so condescending. I want to like pull my hair out. But I'm thinking, who is this girl? Where'd she even come from? How does she know this? Like,
Right. She
why
seems
is
to
she
know.
calling the shots in this community? We don't even know you. Do
Yep.
you know her?
No.
Put a 1 in the chat if you are familiar with her. And I'm not like trying to judge. I just want to know, like, is anybody familiar with this girl? Ever like had a conversation with her? And if you have, does anybody know where she spawns from? I have no clue who she is, says Jules. Nope. Remy says no. Remy knows like everybody. So Remy doesn't know her. She seems to have just popped up. Yeah, like I'm sitting here listening to this girl attack everybody, and I'm like, how does she even know this community? Like, how does she feel so comfortable to come here and call all these people out?
Right.
Bizarre. So JoJo, who goes everywhere, doesn't know her. Your main girl doesn't know her. Pepper doesn't know her. Bethany doesn't know her. Doesn't know her. Cork doesn't know her. I'm sorry, Stephanie. When did you place the crown on your head to call all these people out? When did you take on the role of the fucking mayor? I'm sorry. Did we miss something? Have you introduced yourself yet? I don't think you have. Nice to meet you. I'm Tiffany Marie. You've been talking about me for, I don't know, 2 months now, and I don't know anything about you. I've never even had a conversation with you.
Yeah, I definitely don't know her. But
to
yeah,
label Irish Gal
last night, and I don't have a clue who she is. She knows an awful lot about me, though.
I couldn't believe she's sitting up there calling Irish Gal an addict, and Irish Gal does not want to be labeled an addict. She's very upset about that. So, right, like you want to trigger this woman knowing she has severe anxiety, knowing, do you know what that could do to her pain, listening to a panel like that, listening to people attack her, all these youngins running around attacking this older woman who has a wide array of horrible diagnoses and symptoms. Do you know what that could do to her nervous system and the pain that could cause her?
They don't care.
Hey, I got to do something real quick and then I'm jumping down again. I said that
Good.
it was either just for you or serendipity that took something out of my Discord. I would like to say publicly that it wasn't just for you because the dates don't match up when she left my Discord. So I would like to publicly apologize to Just For You. It could
Okay.
not have been her. So everybody get that before you make it a big deal.
I got it. Just For
Okay.
You 247, right?
No,
Well, I
it's
guess
just
Or
it's
just
fair.
for
274.
you.
I don't
I
know.
guess it's fair to say if Sarah's giving them other stuff, then that's probably, I'm just speculating that it was probably her that did it. I'm just saying, whoever did it, make sure you got the story correct before you run to somebody and stir them up or get them upset, because it had nothing to do with Mandy Lynn or Starlight. And it wasn't a jab at them. It wasn't an aim at them. It was to prove a point. It was immediately retracted. But of course, that's not the narrative you ran with. But
Well, I just wanted to clear her name. I don't care about anybody else.
right.
But,
And shame on Mandy Lynn or Starlight for not reaching out to get the truth. That's the problem around here. Nobody wants to hear the truth. They just rather run with the false narratives and the lies, because if the truth was taught, it halts everything. So then they ain't got nothing to talk about.
okay, I'm jumping down. Carry on, ladies.
I just want to make sure that Irish Gal doesn't fall through the cracks, because I know she's not present and sometimes like we forget. I know you touched on a lot of the things that they talked about last night, but I know that Irish Gal was kind of like left out of the equation. I just wanted to come up to remind people that Steph is all right. So someone wrote in the chat, and I don't remember who it was just now, but they said that hello. All right. So Donna Baird said, Steph, no, was it Donna Baird? Donna Baird said, hello, Starlight and BTS have been attacking Irish Gal for months. Absolutely disgusting. So do you think that Steph is just kind of mimicking their behavior to fit in? Because I don't think Steph knows Irish Gal like that too. So
I think
Steph
she knows
came from
any of
Laura.
them.
Go ahead, what?
I said, I don't think she knows anybody to speak on.
Hold on, you cut out. I don't think anybody what?
I said, I don't think she knows any of us to be speaking on us.
Right. And where on I don't even know, Nenny. It was so late and I don't know what part it was, but I mean, I'm sure it won't be hard to find. Maybe like, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes in. They were on and off attacking Irish Gal. Please leave her alone. She's not doing anything to anybody. She doesn't have a channel. She doesn't have a way to defend herself. I told her, I said, if you need a voice, I'll do a live for you and you can come up and speak. And if she takes me up on that, I will absolutely do that for her, because she doesn't have a platform and she doesn't have a channel. I think that people need to be a little bit more careful, especially with someone that is literally already verbalized to everyone that she's dealing with chronic debilitating pain and anxiety. So a panel like that could end up putting Irish Gal down for days, because the amount of stress that it puts on her nervous system will cause more pain for her. I know, because I live it. Okay. And sometimes the stress can cause mass amounts of pain for people. And I'm sure that it caused pain for Irish Gal. So Steph, maybe, I don't know, why don't you try to talk to Irish Gal? What did she ever do to this girl? And someone said she came from Laura. Okay, that's fine. But like, where did she come from before that? So she found Laura, went into her Patreon for how long? What, a month or two? A couple months? I mean, I saw Steph pop up, and I'm going to say it was around, I want to say it was around May or June of last year. So where
See, I
did
didn't
she
even
come
know
from
she had-
before that?
I just seen her pop up not too long ago. So I didn't even know she. Well, I'll tell you, I seen Laura post a community post one time a few months back of her wearing Laura's merch.
Yep.
That's when I first became familiar with her. Because when she was in Laura's, I don't remember her ever going panel to panel to panel, or even in Laura's chat being so vicious or attacking people or doing what she's doing now. I don't remember that happening. Maybe I missed it because I don't see a lot of stuff. Just like last night, I didn't get to watch 4 hours in the middle of the night when people are sleeping what's going on. I was sent probably a 10-minute clip of the Discord, my son being brought up. I just don't have 4 hours to sit through a live that of people I don't care nothing about or what, you know, they have to say if it's not relevant to me.
Exactly.
And I do want to touch on like the addiction and, you know, triggering and, you know, these same people that go from chat to chat. Oh, you're triggering me. You're doing this. But yet your friends, the same people that are saying that, are sitting on panel high or, you know, laughing about being high or putting it out there. Is that not triggering to people? I mean, last time I checked, we're all grown adults. If something is triggering you, hit the exit button, log off the fucking YouTube. It's not that hard, people. But I get tired of seeing, oh, that's causing me a panic attack. Oh, I'm going to end up here. That's trigger. Log off. It's not that hard. We're all adults. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to hear it. You know, just like with this situation that they ran with on you and Molly and Laura. You know,
God.
I feel, you know, my opinion on that is, okay, what they didn't know till the next day. Okay, that's fine. But you just text Molly not even a month ago about the Diane situation. Why couldn't you reach out to Laura or Molly and say, hey, heads up? This is who he
What
is.
I said. I wanted to know why Mandy Lynn couldn't have reached out to one of us, but that's just not the type of person she is, I guess, where she would feel like, all right, you know what? Let me reach out to Laura, or I have Tiffany's email from a year ago. Let me hit her up. Anything
Right.
like Marianne has my phone number. If you guys know that we're dealing with something like that, hit me up. Like, hey, I can't stand your guts, but this is the deal. I've messaged Marianne before to help her out when shit's going on. I think twice I've done that when I haven't been friendly with her. Like, hey, here's this screenshot. You got doxxed in this chat. Here's the link to the doxer, and here's the dox. Like, what the fuck?
Well, not even 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had someone tell us that Starlight sent somebody to her door. And as soon as the story was told, I said, I call bullshit. I call bullshit.
Who's
now,
door?
It was a sub's door is what they were claiming that Starlight sent these guys to her house or whatever. And I called bullshit from the get-go. And everybody else was like, well, I said, no, me and Starlight have our differences, but I know she would never do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, didn't happen. I can put paycheck on it. It never happened. That's a lie. I called it. And somebody reached out to Starlight to let her know what was being said. That we didn't have to do that. We could have just let this person run with that story, but we nipped it in the bud and cut it off. It never even made it public until Starlight brought it public that night after being contacted. I can do that. I can put my differences aside and say, no, that's not her. Like, she might be mad at you or whatever, but she's not going to send anybody to your door. That's not Starlight. Come on, man.
That's like, okay, so perfect example. The other day, so me and Trisha, not Trish, we don't like see eye to eye. We don't necessarily like get into knockout, drag, fest or anything like that. I think we fought a couple times. Nothing like major to write home about. But when all of this shit was being discussed on her panel, she was like, no, I'm not cool with this because I don't believe that the three of them are supporters of this guy. I don't believe they were defending him. Like, she was basically saying, I'm not going to accept this on my panel. And when she said that, I have to be honest, I grew respect for Trisha. I really did. And I really haven't been someone who's had a lot of respect for her anyhow. But when she said that, that told me that no matter how Trish or not Trish might feel about me or Laura or Marissa, which I think she's fine with Laura. I don't know. I don't know people's friendships. But that told me that she's able and big enough of a person to put whatever issues aside that she has and say, I don't think that, you know what I mean? I've done it. Hey, I don't like this person, but I don't think they did this or whatever. Like, why can't these people just be normal? Is it the views? Is it the drama? Like, is it just wanting to be like, feel like you're a part of something? I'm not sure. I can't figure it out. All I know is I see this Steph girl attacking all these people, and I'm wondering, is she following her friends? Like, is like someone said, BTS and Marianne have been riding Irish gal's ass. What did Irish gal do to Steph? What did she do to this girl that she's now calling her an addict, saying she has an addiction when she's like, no, I'm not an addict. I don't have an addiction. Irish gal is saying this. Like, she's saying, I do not have an addiction. I'm not an addict. She has a prescription for medication and she's using medical cannabis. What's wrong with that?
Right.
What is wrong with the fact that there are people who are trying to heal themselves using a plant that was put on this earth and made for our body? Our bodies all are made with an endocannabinoid system, okay? There's nothing wrong with using cannabis to heal yourself. There's nothing wrong with using cannabis to relieve your pain, your anxiety. I would rather see somebody smoke a joint than put a pill in their mouth. And to be honest with you, cannabis works better than any medication I've ever taken. And that's the God's honest truth. And I've been through some pretty heavy shit. So, I mean, I'm just saying, stop shaming people for their disabilities, their pain, their ailments, their medications. Number one, don't come to YouTube and tell anybody that you're taking XYZ medication. They will use it against you. Don't tell anybody that if you don't want to be called a pothead or what, I'll wear it proudly. I don't give a fuck. Everybody who knows me in real life and on YouTube knows I'm a huge promoter of a healing plant. Number one. Some people, though, they get really nervous about it. Some people don't want that label on them. And some people are new to it, or they don't, maybe their families don't know, or maybe their friends don't know, or whatever. Irish gal doesn't deserve that. She is an elderly woman, okay, who cannot manage her pain. She's trying to manage her pain. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad she's trying to take care of herself, because until you live with pain like that, you don't know what it's like to stare at the wall and say, why am I even here? Is this just, am I put on this earth just to suffer? Until you deal with pain like that, don't ever judge anybody with pain. Irish gal doesn't deserve that.
Right. I totally agree. And I agree with Lorelai. It's just that they're not educated and they're speaking on things that they're not educated about. You know, but they in the same breath will cry if it's them, if you're bringing up something about their life or their issues or flaws. You know, don't speak on this, or, you know, it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because a lot of people come to YouTube to get to know people, to escape their real life, to meet people. And it's sad that you can't even share part of your life or aspects of your life with people, because they're going to use it against you if you decide to go your different ways. And that's just sad.
It is
It's
sad.
It is really
Especially
sad.
when you know, like, somebody struggles, you know, especially when you know. And I'm glad that Irish gal confided in me, you know, that she does have chronic pain. She told me this a long time ago, because I don't think that these people are aware of what Irish gal is living with and dealing with every single day. And her story was shared on YouTube. She went through something absolutely horrific and is still dealing with those side effects today. She's very lucky to be here. And I just don't think that people realize the weight of their words and what they're doing. They don't know people's stories enough to speak on them like that. And I didn't mean to, like, come up here and completely change the subject. I don't want to. Now I said everything that, I just want to make sure that I said something for Irish Gal, because I don't want her to be forgotten.
That are in recovery, but they're so scared to even say anything on these YouTube streets because they're not strong enough to take the backlash that these people give them.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people come to me, Mommy of three, if I could go in and make a comment to correct this or that, I would, but I don't want them coming after me. And it's not going to take away the hate you're getting. It's just going to get us both hated on.
Yeah.
So I'm not as strong as you. I can't stand up against these people, and that's sad. That is sad for me to hear. I mean, like what happened to IBF? Why? Because she has an opinion?
Yeah.
So you don't.
Mommy of three, what exactly, can you tell me, because I wasn't there and I don't know what happened at IBF, and I'm sure it's been said before, but what exactly happened? Do you know?
All I know is that she, I guess, went to Diane at Christmas time, asked for help. Then PF went to Diane and said, hey, just give me her list, take it out of the rotation. So according to PF, there's only two people that knew her information, and that would be Diane and PF. Mm-hmm. And PF didn't share it. And someone came in Laura's and doxed her.
Wow.
Because she had
IBF has been able to maintain their identity for a long time. I wouldn't even know where that person is from. Like IBF, I wouldn't even be able to tell you, oh, they're on the West Coast or they're on the East Coast. I've never even heard their voice, I don't think. Like, how do these people feel okay doxing someone out who has been able to keep their anonymity? They don't bother anybody. IBF they're not out there causing chaos and ruckus or trying to, fuck with anybody.
Right.
This place is off the chain.
It's scary.
People accusing you of not loving your son. People accusing me of being subjecting my child to weed smoke when that's not true at all. He's never been subjected to smoke in his life. And she knows that. Like, she legit knows that. Irish Gal's being called a drug addict. Tracy's being drugged to hell and back by Steph. They're making fun of her picture. This isn't the same picture. Blah, 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 blah. Look at this picture. Look at this. How many times you're going to show Tracy's picture and compare it to the other one? How many times? Just leave Tracy alone. Leave her alone. She doesn't feel good. If putting up a picture with a filter on it makes her feel good, then let her. Let her. She doesn't feel good. Do these people realize that? And then not to mention, Tracy's been through cancer. She's lived it. She's survived it. She's thriving. Why would you want to fucking attack her over something like that? Mm-hmm. What is going on here? Like, I don't understand. Are people this hateful? Are they this hateful?
Well, like the narrative that was ran on you and Molly and Laura, do they not realize how dangerous that is, putting a target on somebody for supporting such?
Do you know how dangerous it is to put that label on someone who's actually been sexually assaulted?
Right. It's crazy. And then yesterday it was said, well, y'all brought him here and he's got 400. No, that's not the truth. The truth of the matter is the man had been on a few panels before that. And guess what? Right. He was on a panel the night after Molly's in the true crime community. The night after that was scheduled before Molly. And those people interviewed him. Where's the outrage?
Christina Randall's talking about the guy. I mean, come on. We're not the only
Christina. Absolutely. And then he was also in the Daily Mail. And they done a whole article on him. And it said he had been in prison for meth charges and embezzlement charges. It said nothing of any kind of sexual charges.
I know.
So it just proves what y'all were saying that y'all were aware of. But yeah, they're running with this narrative. And it's like, you should have what ain't our place. Everybody should know. Well, then everybody should know. Then why'd you have to go live about it?
Listen, I'm not saying that Mandy Lynn couldn't alert the community. I never said that. What she did was she actually labeled us pedo supporters and defenders and said we made excuses for his behavior. Excuse me? When? Where? I don't think so. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? I just found out this information, alert to the community. This guy has done XYZ, and not for nothing. When I had said that Mandy Lynn had shared that info, she didn't redact anything. And I'm not bringing up her kids in a way to hurt her. I'm saying, be careful. Like you've got a family to protect. Don't go attacking this guy. You don't know how close he is to her home, how far away he is, who he is. If he could get a ride, find out who she is. Like, be careful dealing with these psycho people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I said the same thing. Been running around here saying that she contacted his PO officer, or she contacted someone and they said he could be on YouTube, but he couldn't engage with women or blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you thinking? People will kill you over $1. Okay.
Oh my God,
they will kill you for nothing just because you were in the wrong time at the wrong place. What are you people thinking? This is a man that you are trying to jeopardize his freedom, have him put back in prison for a violation, and people will kill you over that.
Absolutely.
It's not something you do. Like, what is wrong with you people? And then you're dragging a whole community in with you.
Yeah, I think that the community's had a...
It's ridiculous. I mean, you're putting targets on people's back and you're going to get somebody hurt.
This has been a hard week for a lot of people here, including myself. That wasn't an easy situation for me to deal with. You know what? But you get through it and you push through. I don't know, like, when's it going to end? What do they want? Do they want Tracy to hate herself? Do they want her to hate her life? Do they want her to put up a picture of her with bedhead and no makeup and, her oxygen tank next to her? Would that make them feel better? Would they feel better if she had the cannula in her nose? What do they want from her? She can't put up a picture with a filter. I have a sepia filter on my photo that I took in my car with the sun blaring on my face. And they're like, oh, she's got so many filters. I don't care. Everybody saw me at my worst in a hospital bed on Mandy Lynn's photo when she used it for an avatar. Have you not seen me? I think everyone has seen what I look like in a fucking hospital bed with no makeup on, thanks to Mandy Lynn. So what haven't you seen of me? Okay, I've literally shared pictures of myself on my live when I was really sick, when I had to prove all the bullshit with Randy way back when. I cammed up, put up a video when Stephanie Brown went live about me, and I told her, don't fucking summons me to your panel. And I put up a video of my face, my arms, my upper chest. Like, you could see my hair, everything, my whole face. Like, what else do you want? Do you like me to take a picture in the fucking shower? Like, what do you want? I don't get it. What do these people want from everyone? It never ends. And it's just, listen, I can take it, but people like Irish Gal or Tracy, how do you know Tracy's not going to break one of these days? How do you know she's not going to reach her limit? We don't.
Right. You don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. You don't know. And, you could be the callus that pushes them off the edge. But I've said this and I'll say it before. If it happens, I can already predict the future, and they'll be the first ones. I didn't do anything. Don't come to YouTube if you can't handle it. I didn't do anything. You can't blame me for that. And I've said it publicly, and I'll say it again. If someone hurts themselves that I know has been attacked, gone after over and over and over, made a target, I will do my damnedest to make sure you pay for that. Clock it, put it in your pipe and smoke it, take it to the bank and cash it, clip it. I will do my damnedest to make sure you're held responsible for it. Whoever that may be, if someone, God forbid, hurts themselves on here because of somebody's actions and being childish and not thinking of other people's feelings and in regard of other people, human beings' feelings.
I remember this one morning, I got a text from someone. It was a mutual friend with Tracy. And at that very moment, Tracy was being drugged on a panel. And the text message that I got about what Tracy was dealing with that morning floored me. And I felt horrible, but you can't say anything. Like, you can't say, listen, she's dealing with this right now. And it is I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Like, at the very moment you're on a panel dragging someone to hell and back, they're dealing with something that is unimaginable. Okay. Those are the types of things, like, you really just don't know what someone might be going through. Okay. Everyone knows Tracy's been open about a lot of things. And me and Tracy have had our day. Like, we have fought, we've gone back and forth. We had issues. It's all been here. Like, everyone knows who's fought with who, what they've said to one another, who's hurt one another, or whatever. You know what I mean? But the thing is, how do you know it's not going to be just the wrong day at the wrong time? And MO3, how do we know no one's already taken their own life? How do we know that?
We don't. Today, there's a lot of people, that just disappear. We don't know what happened to them.
Right.
We don't. We just don't. And I hear
never know.
If I would have known that they were going through that, then I wouldn't have said X, Y, and Z. No, just don't say it at all. Why do you have to know their personal life or what they're going through or their struggles to refrain you from being an asshole?
I don't know what it's going to take, but honestly, I feel like
human being.
I feel like some of these people, even if something did happen, I don't think that they would even care. Like, I heard Makeup Mobsters say last night, they were reacting to Tracy saying something. She said, do you know what I've been through and what I've endured in my life? I've been through more in my life than you can imagine. Do you know what I'm going through with my son? And she said, I don't care. It's like, wow, man.
Okay,
I
just want to make something clear before this. And I appreciate you, Tiff, because there's a lot of people out there that can't handle this. But I want to put this loud and clear that
I know you
I
can.
am not a victim. These bitches will never break me.
Amen.
No one could be harder on themselves than I am myself. I do own a mirror. If my filter bothers them so bad, I have no problem. I put up the real picture of what I filtered. Do I think the filter makes me look much better? Of course.
Tracy, they're saying it's not the same photo. They're saying it's not the same photo because your face is
exactly the same photo.
All right.
It is exactly the same photo. They're ignorant. If that's all they're worried about is me having a filter, go look on my community page. I put the exact same. You know what? I'll take the filter off. If it'll make them feel better, I'll take the filter off. And I'll put my natural face up there. Okay?
No, leave your picture, Tracy. It looks pretty. Leave it alone.
About people's filters,
but I
what
will
they
never, ever be a victim.
We have a known scammer in the community. A known scammer. Who has
That's never even showed her face.
Children. I don't care if it was $1, a penny. She took from sick children. Put your focus on that, people. And
they
until you
want to,
what you say is even relevant at this point. It's mute. That's my opinion. I don't give a shit what you say. until you take care of this known scammer who you are even supporting at this point. Some of you
Well,
are still supporting her.
I want to make it loud and clear, and I appreciate, and I know what Tiffany was saying, and I appreciate what you're saying, but I do want to make it loud and clear that I am not a victim. I am a survivor. I will never be a victim of these sick bitches here on YouTube. It will never happen. I am so much stronger than what they know. If something is going to break me, it's going to be something in my real life. It's
Right.
not going to be catty bitches sitting on a panel talking for 4 hours about somebody. Now, here's the strange thing. Pam and Ricky went up on BTS's yesterday, and all BTS could keep continuously saying is, "How old are you? How old are you?" As if.
They
As
went
if.
up there. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And
Tracy, I wanna apologize. I didn't mean, all right, listen, I need you to know this. What I was saying, I didn't mean to make you sound weak or anything like that. I
no,
know
no,
you're
no,
strong
no.
as nails.
I know what you were
All
getting
right.
at. And it very
All right.
well could happen to someone. But I'm
Yeah,
not going to
Absolutely.
let them run with, "Oh, listen, the truth is the victim." I'm just not going to, it's just not going to
no,
happen,
I
because
know that.
when I click off my computer, I don't think of those people. It
I
doesn't
know.
rule my life what happens. Um, but there are people out there that can't take it. And
Yep.
when somebody gets hurt for the things that they're saying, whoever you are, whoever's saying it, then the blood is on their hands. And I've always said that. And Mommy at 3, I agree with you. I would go to hell and back to hold those people responsible.
Yep.
The
But
thing is, though, we might never know if someone did something to themselves. How would we know? When people disappear and screen names disappear, we don't
Or
know
label.
what.
I mean, they label people like they're damn soup cans around here, like they work for Campbell's. I mean, now they're labeling Stellar
I
as a creep,
know.
as a weirdo. Are
I
you
yeah,
kidding?
know.
Do
yeah.
you know how reputable that man is in these
I know.
communities?
Not
Well,
even that in
and
real life. I mean,
everybody's trying so hard to throw their little innuendos out there about Stellar. It's just not going to work.
nope.
Well,
But
and I think any smart person would have known what Stellar was saying. When Tiffany said to Stellar, "How have you communicated with her? Like through email, through a side chat, comment section?" And he said, "I've engaged with her maybe through a side chat once and maybe in a comment section once, tops, maybe." She runs with, "Oh no, he's emailed me. Let me show you the email."
as
Well,
if it
okay,
matters.
but you did not email him back. So he did not engage with you through an email.
Well, here's, like I said, Pam and Ricky went up on BTS's panel yesterday. Now, this is their mindset. So Pam and Ricky go up there, and BTS keeps
Oh, I
saying,
missed that.
"How old are you? How old are you?" As if people that are older than them can't defend themselves. Like
They're
only,
not young
only,
themselves.
you know, only if you're young, which none of them are, by the way. Okay. We're not talking about 19 and 20-year-olds. We're talking about mothers and grandmothers.
Exactly.
So if you want to ask Pam and Ricky how old they are for defending themselves, maybe you should ask yourself how old you are and you're still behaving the way you do.
Right. But, any smart person would have listened to that and known exactly what Stellar was saying with, "I haven't engaged with her other than side chat in a comment section tops."
But
And
they
she wants
have
to
to
run this
discredit Stellar.
email and run this narrative on Stellar as he's creeping her and following her around. And now he's emailing her and he's lying about emailing her. No, he said that he has an engaged, keyword there, engaged with you other than. So you didn't email the guy back. So he didn't engage with you through email. He never emailed you again. But some
Who is
people are
saying that?
more about their reputation and character. And when you people assassinate it day after
Yes.
day after day after day, some people don't like that. Their character and their reputation is everything to them. And you're labeling him as a liar, now as a creep and a weirdo. How many men are we on now?
You know what? I'm gonna say something about this because I think that it's important. So the other night when they were dragging Stellar around, calling him a creep and everything else, I emailed him and I shared something with him that was actually very personal that I don't talk about here. And the point I was trying to make was when I was writing to him, and I do trust him very, very much. Stellar has been very good to me. And I know that he's a good person, and I know he's a decent man. He was a minister. He has done amazing things in his life, and he's done nothing but try to help these people. All right, this whole community. And he wishes no harm on anybody. But I had said to him in that email, you know, what I had been struggling with that day, because it was a really rough day for me. And I kind of like unloaded in an email to him. And I said, I know that you're not a creep. And if you were, I would never have even written this email to you. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I wanted him to know I don't view him that way. I don't know anybody who views him that way, except these people who are trying to paint him that way. He's been nothing but good to the people here. Even the meanest people, he's so kind to. He's generous with understanding. And who cares if he asked BTS to reach out to him? Maybe he's trying to do things like a normal person. He's trying to reach out like a normal person would.
But see, here's
instead
the
of going
thing.
live.
Anybody in this community, even people that have said and made these little innuendos about Stellar, if they needed something, he would be there.
Absolutely.
Amen.
But I'm going to jump down. I just wanted to make it clear that I'm not a victim. You will never make me your victim. You can talk about me until the cows come home. But remember, not everybody is as strong and thick-skinned as I am. So
True.
think about that when you're sitting on a panel, dragging somebody night after night after night after night. It's one thing to drag them once, but when you become their material every single day, think about if you're really pushing somebody too far. With that, I'm jumping down, ladies, and
Have a good
I'll
day,
be in the
Tracy.
chat. I'm going to eat some Fritos. All right. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
But yeah, no, I mean, I wanted Stellar to know that he's not viewed that way, because I can imagine for him, that's a very uncomfortable statement to make about a man who has done nothing creepy to anybody. I
Right.
haven't seen him make any inappropriate statements. I haven't seen him talk out of line to any women. And like I said, I've shared a lot of emails with Stellar, and he's never repeated anything I've ever told him. He's never, I can't name anything that is even remotely a red flag for me with Stellar. And I don't want that man to think that that's the way that women view him here, because, and it's almost kind of weird, like, why do they have this fixation with creeps and, fetishes and pedos and this, that? It's like, Jesus, what's wrong with them? These people have to be deranged. Like, just like everything that comes out of their mouth on a daily basis is about something gross. Don't put those kinds of labels on men that have not done anything. Now, if he had been in everybody's inbox being a major creep, by all means, like, go ahead and make sure you alert the community. That's not what's happening. Don't try to paint someone's reputation like that when they don't have that reputation at all anywhere over across multiple communities.
Right. I mean, like the girls were saying last night on Sweet's thing, you know, I mean, people are being attacked just for their opinions, you know, or trying to defend themselves. Well, point proven. Point proven. They're live. I'm being threatened. Bring it on. Bring it on. But just know when you come, don't cry when you get it back. I'm just putting that out there.
Hey, it's happened to me. I've pushed it out there. I've gotten it back tenfold. You know what I mean? Like, you learn real quick around here.
My house was put on the market on an auction site. Really, for defending a friend at the, you know, at the time. So I've been doxxed. My kids have been doxxed. So, I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous. Don't lie on people, then you won't have a problem.
I agree.
If you want to talk shit, talk shit. If you want to talk shit about what I've done, talk shit about what I've done. But don't lie on me and don't talk about my kids.
I'm sorry. I had no idea that happened to you. I'm sorry. I had heard way back when rumors, okay, that you only cared about your 3 girls, right? Like, why is it mommy of 3 girls and not mommy of 3 girls and 1 boy, right? Someone had said something like that before. I think it was like 2 years ago or more. And I said, oh, I didn't know that she had a son. I had no idea. But you know what? That wasn't my business to know. And you know what I mean? Like back then, you and I did not get along, I'm pretty sure. So when it was said, I didn't give it a second thought. I was like, oh, damn. You know what I mean? But how fucking ridiculous is that I would even be like, oh, yeah, why didn't she put her son in there? You know what I mean? But to think of talking about your kid at all, I've never even sat here and thought, oh, let me talk about who this person is as a parent. Why are people being attacked for their parenting, things that they've never done, stories being pulled out of the fucking ether? You don't even know where these people come up with this shit. And then you've got someone who actually knows you and knows the truth and will sit there and make you look like you're some kind of abusive person or doing illegal things. What for? That's a very interesting concept. I think I know why, right?
And sits on a panel, said, knowing that there was no truth to it. But the same person that I just defended 3 weeks ago, who also was being lied on, I could have let that story go, but no, I stopped it, corrected it, and moved on. But the same person is going to sit on a panel last night, knowing that what came out of Makeup Mobster's mouth about my son was no truth to it. We've been on many a voice calls. We've been in a Discord together. You knew the truth. You knew that wasn't true. And instead of saying, oh, that ain't cool, or nah, that's not cool, you know, or that's not true, or, you know, no. She, you know, nothing except for giggling. What?
Listen, you said it right here. Not that it's anybody's business that your son is old enough to drive, old enough to drink, old enough to gamble, old enough to have a family, be married, children, 5 things. On a whole hand, he's grown.
Yep.
Okay. And he's no one's business but yours. Just like mine is no one's business but mine. Makeup Mobster's son is no one's business but hers. I don't talk about her son. You don't talk about her son. We don't talk about people's kids, period. Okay?
Well, I said, if I missed the memo, I need to know. Because I thought kids were off limits.
They're supposed to be.
Certain kids.
They're supposed to be. We're supposed to protect our kids, and we're supposed to protect other people's children too. As mothers, we do have a duty, okay, to protect neighborhood kids. If you see a kid coming through your yard wearing a diaper with no shoes, you're going to find that parent, okay? I saw a little boy one day. This is a short story. I was driving down the road. It wasn't very far from my house. And I saw a little boy. He had no shoes on. He had his pajamas on. He had like a little cars and trucks, Okay, his hair was all fluffy, like he had not been taken care of that morning. And he was just running down the sidewalk, and it was really weird. Like I knew something was wrong. So I pulled over and I said, please don't be afraid. I said, where's your mommy? Where's your daddy? And he kind of like put his finger near his mouth and he said, my daddy's sleeping. My mommy's at work. And I'm like, oh my God. So I put him in my car and I drove him home right down the road. I went and I knocked on the door. The guy came downstairs, pulled the little boy inside and was yelling at him. I felt like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Like he must have been 3 years old. Okay. That's what you do as a mother. As
Right.
a mom, you look out for the other kids, whether they're kids in this community or our own neighborhood. You don't sit there and try to put an X on another kid's back or another parent's back. Unless somebody is beating their child on here, unless somebody is doing something to their child on the screen, or you know for certain that something is horribly wrong and some child is being abused, please don't bring up other people's kids. Be a good parent, because being a parent means you care about other people's kids too, not just your own. Because if you're a mother, it's your instinct.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Coffee Cat. Like, you know, how many times have we ever heard them say, you know, like when BTS made her mistake the other day and put me in her description, and as if I've got wrong info, or I was the one to run to Tracy and be in Tracy's ear or whatever. When I made it known that wasn't me, where was my apology? You never hear these people apologize, and they're never in the wrong. Well, I raised my children. If you've got 100 people telling you that you might be the problem, or even 50 people that you might be the problem, you might need to self-reflect. You might need to take a step back, because those 50 people can't be wrong and only you be right. There's something going on. So I don't see how these people don't see or take a step back and self-reflect and say, well, maybe I can change that, or maybe not do that, or maybe I shouldn't have said that, or I'm sorry I even brought that up, or you hear none of that. They just go even harder because they're right fighters. They see nothing, and that's the scary part. They see nothing wrong with their behavior. That's even scarier to me. Not scary that they're out there lying. It's scary that they believe it and they see nothing wrong with it. That's a whole nother level.
It's not, we don't need to disagree on every single thing just because we don't like each other. Like, I don't get it. We don't like each other, right? We could bitch about what people do here, all right? We can talk shit. But like, at what point do you say, all right, you know what? This person has told us in the community that they eat CBD gummies at night for their pain. Let's call them an addict. Like, why? Why? What'd you do that for? Why do you have to attack mommy of 3 using her son?
Right.
Why do you have to attack me as a parent? Make up a fucking story that's not even true. Like, do I care? No, not really. I mean, most kids are smoking weed at my son's age. I mean, pretty much all of them are, but mine doesn't. You know what I mean? He's not out there, you know, smoking weed. I take offense to that. You know what I mean? Like, I take pride in myself as a mother. I take pride in all that I've been able to accomplish for my kid, all of the life that he has, all of the things that he has, and the love that he has, and the home that I have for him. Like, those are things you take pride in. I've never, ever said, oh, Leanna smokes cigarettes around her son, or like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never even said she does this or this or this regarding her son. For her to say that about me the other day, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I can't even fucking comprehend. I don't understand why people have to now make up stories. They can't even be truthful. Like, yeah, she's a good parent. Like, I talked to her for so many months or a year, and she was good to her. She was good to her child. And what she said? She goes, she mimicked me one day, and she pretended she was me talking to my son and said that I baby him. Damn fucking straight, I baby him. That's my only baby.
Right.
Okay.
That's
Do
what
I
was
baby
saying.
him?
Your baby in him, and being this so-called perfect mother, and now
I'm
this
not
week
perfect by any means, but do I treat him like gold? Yes, I do. He's the only one I've got, and he's almost out of here. So if I baby him, I'll baby him until the day he walks out my house and then some. He'll always be my baby. So if I baby him, oh well, that's the only one I got. I wanted more children and I only have one. So if that's the worst she can say about me, so which one is it? Do I baby him, or am I a horrible parent who's smoking in the house? If someone walked into my house, they would never smell any kind of smoke. There's no smoke in here. I don't smoke in my house at all. It's just like what she said about yours. Why is she talking about everybody's kids? No one's talking about hers. We don't do that to her. So I'm going to ask, please stop talking about all of our kids. They're not here. They're not on this platform. They don't come on YouTube. No one's ever heard my son in the background because I knew I don't want him on YouTube. I don't want him in the background. When I hear him coming down the stairs or walking up the stairs to come in the house, I knew. That's my choice.
I
You
don't
don't
even
put your son on YouTube.
even know about YouTube because I don't do it when they're around. Now my 6-year-old knows that I watch YouTube. But my children don't even know I'm on YouTube because I don't put them in that environment. When I'm with my children, I'm with my children because I don't get to see my oldest children that often because they have their own lives, their own jobs, their own families. Now my girl in college comes home to do her laundry or, whatever. So I get to see her more often, but, and I see my daughter a little bit more often than my son because, the grandbaby, but I'm not on YouTube when I'm with them. I'm spending every minute I can get with them.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I say, if your kids are little, enjoy them because when they're grown, you don't get that time with them. They have their own lives.
So true.
So
Listen,
some of these people that just consume their self in this YouTube, and because they do, they think everybody else does. It doesn't work like that. A lot of us are not that invested or that consumed. It just isn't that way. I'm definitely not. Now, if I get a clip or if I pop into a live, I might watch, at night is when I try to catch up. But I'm definitely going to say something when my son's being brought up. And
absolutely.
I've on you or your kid ever. Now, I've spoken on her, in my opinion, in a chat somewhere, but never went after her character or her home life or her marriage, none of that. So I don't understand what even made her say something like that. And then to know that this troll was running around not even a year and a half ago, making up this whole story about how I gave a son up for adoption and I didn't care about him. And then she words it just like the troll was wording it. So I have to believe that that was you because no one else has ever said such. It's kind of funny that you just out of the blue last night, nobody's talking about kids. Nobody's talking about their home lives. You're talking about Discord stuff, and out of the blue, well, mommy, if three's got 3 girls and a son she don't give no shits about. She's an asshole. Well, that's funny you say that because a troll used to say the same thing that said I gave him up for adoption when he was a baby and never looked back. So I have to believe that was you because I've never seen anybody else say it. But that trolling you. And funny, you would say it the same way the troll said it. and put it out there like that. But I mean, I was blown away because I'm like, how the hell does she know what I care about and don't? I don't know her like that. I mean, it's kind of like her saying that, you know, I love bombed her or whatever. Where? I've never contacted you. I've never spoke to you privately, but one time through an email, and that was defending Mandy Lynn, putting my name on the line for Mandy Lynn, defending her over her looking up your family, me defending her. The only time I've ever contacted the girl. Never spoke to her other than that. That's it. And thanked her in a comment section for her grief series. That's been it.
Listen, I found a lot of healing through that grief series, and you know what? She's turning around trying to fucking use things against me. Like, I regret ever coming across that grief series. I regret ever watching her videos and believing her. And that's all I'll even say about it. I'm not even going to pay attention to the shit that she's saying. I'm so over it. I don't understand it anymore. I literally never talk about this girl until recent when I had to defend myself. And I went live the other day, but I don't sit on panels talking about her. I don't talk about her on the phone. I'm over it. Like, I moved on.
Well, and let me address this.
Fucking
This
over
is
it.
something that was put out there about you the other day. While I'm thinking about it. It was said the other day that they're glad that y'all are not friends anymore, and how you just stressed her out, and that she's a better person now, that you and her ain't friends, and she's back to the old makeup mobster that they used to know, and they like her now again, and all of this rigmarole. Okay, let's just set it straight. Mandy Lynn, seriously, girl, are you gonna run with that? Let's call it for what it is. Number one, you've never liked Makeup Mobster. Never, ever, ever liked the girl. From day one of me running into you, being in a Patreon with you, Discords with you, you have never liked that girl. Never. So to sit on a panel and act like there was a time that you did, and that Tiffany changed her, which made you dislike her, and now you're liking her again, is bullshit. I call bullshit. You've never liked her. But yet we all hate Bond. Got it.
Hey, if she thinks that I changed her, I thought she said she couldn't be changed. Whatever. If I stressed her out, she never told me. I literally, whatever. I mean, she's been saying this stuff for a while. I'm fine with it. Say what you want. Like, I was a horrible friend, stressed her out. She feels so much better now. Then good. I'm glad. Like, have fun. I never want to be friends with someone who thinks that I stress them out. You know what I mean? Like, if you are my friend and I stress you out, tell me. Why wouldn't you have told me that? You know what I mean? Like, if it was too much for you or whatever, you know what was too much for her, I think? I was dealing with a lot from Diane's channel and Wendy and Randy, and I was heavily being come down on. You know what I mean? So if I stressed her out by venting to her, oops, my bad. I thought I could. I thought she was my friend. Do you know what I mean?
Right. She never said that. That was just a narrative.
No, she did. She did. She said a long time ago when we.
I heard, and I'm like, what? When the person was telling me about it, I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, that's what Mandy Lynn has said. I said, that's a bullshit lie. She's never liked her. Since day one, never liked her. And there was a point at one time that I was the only one that liked her through the grief series in the group we were in. And I was concerned about for her against people.
I know.
Because they didn't like her. And so for you to run the narrative that you did like her, and that because her and Tiffany were friends, she changed and you didn't like her and now you like her again, bullshit. That's the biggest lie I've ever heard. And anybody that's got the Patreon chats knows that. So, I mean, just be honest. Why do we have to lie? Let's just be real. Instead of pinning that on Tiffany as if it was all her fault that somebody changed. I mean, it's kind of like them saying, well, you're besties with Laura, you know, makeup mobster, bringing up a conversation that I had with Laura one night. Oh, you were going manic, you know. No. You only obviously seen the one side of the conversation. Have I gone at Laura? Absolutely. Have I talked about her? Absolutely. But Laura knows, and I know that if Laura's doing something that I don't agree with, I'll be the first one to call her out. Always have been. And she was going at Sip T Marie with that night over the dementia. So hell yeah, I was a little pissed off and triggered. Excuse me for going after someone's mental illness or their diagnosis, or, you know, yeah, I was a little triggered and pissed. So did I reach out to Laura and go off? Absolutely did. Well, now
and
I'm
that's
best.
okay. Sometimes,
right, now,
listen, I need to be called out sometimes. So my friends have had to tell me, listen, Tiffany, and you know what? I'd rather have my friend come to me and be like, I support you, but I think it would be a better idea if XYZ, right? Like I've called Laura out on things too, like that. Like, Laura, I think that if you took this approach, it might be better. You know what I mean? Sometimes she's like, no, I'm doing my thing. Hey, that's her choice. You know what I mean? But bottom line is, none of us are perfect. None of us have done anything perfectly by the rule book, okay? And we've all fucked up.
Right.
We've all owned a lot of our shit, right? All these people are like, oh, she doesn't own anything she does. I think I've owned pretty much everything I've ever been called out on, okay? You have owned your wrongs. I've seen you do it over and over again. There's a lot of people here who make mistakes. It's easy to do. When you're live and shit's happening all at once, you don't know what's going on another panel or whatever, shit happens. But it doesn't mean that, like, why are we held to this standard? But then you've got people running around here who have done so much worse. And they're the ones calling people out. I'm sorry, but no, they don't write the script to my life.
Right. Or that happened 2 years ago. It's old news. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. It is old news. So why is it being brought up? But then when it's someone else, it's being brought up like it's okay. Like, I'm on Hopey Dopey's panel. I'm not saying anything bad at all. I'm actually defending them. I love her too. I'm actually like talking good about them, not saying nothing bad. And a troll comes in, ask her about the call, Hopey Dopey, as if,
oh my God,
it, as if I haven't owned it 2.5 years ago, a year ago, 6
it's
months
because
ago.
Hopey Dopey is new and they wanted to embarrass you in front of OG drama people. They wanted them to question you, to side-eye you, and to think, oh my God, who do we have on panel? Do you know what I'm saying? They follow you everywhere.
Yep, that was exactly what they were trying to do. And Hopey told them, coming in under your real name. Like,
yeah,
obviously,
cool as fuck.
M-O-3-G, come in here under your real name. And, you know, she called him a few names, and she's like, Mommy of 3, you want to respond to that? Yeah, I did it. I owned it 2 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. I'm owning it now. It happened. It was a bad
right. And you and the person that it happened with cleared it out. Like, you discussed it. You talked about it. You came to an end. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one can let anything rest. No one can let anything go. That there's shit that happened 3 years ago that people still bring up. And I just ignore it. For real. I just ignore it. There's way too much going on. I have way too much going on, first of all, in my own life. And on here, forget it. I don't even have time to address everything on here. I've got to get up every day. I've got to take care of my household. I got to shower. I got to brush my teeth. I got to get dressed. I got to go to the store. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Never ends. A mother's work is never done. Okay. Never, ever done. Who really has time to make this a full-time chore? It's a chore to come here. That's not what I came here for. I came here to just kick back, relax, have fun, not have to be stressed out. this isn't a place that you log on to. This is worse. Listen, I said this to someone last night. I can't remember who it is now, but I said, I don't have any of this drama in my real life. I don't have any kinds of people like this in my real life. I don't deal with this kind of shit. It's very,
a lot of us are so shocked. And I've said this to a few of my close friends on here. I think that's what like throws me back, is because there's so many people that are the same, with the same backstories, rather it be they have no job, or they got too much time on their hands, or whatever it is. I would never associate with people like them in my real life. I've never encountered people like them in my real life. So I think that's why I'm so shocked and taken back that there's so many of them alike in one area, in one little space. Because I probably wouldn't even look at them in my real life. I mean, I just don't associate with people like that.
right.
Never anybody that would intentionally hurt people.
That's what I mean. Why would we come here when in our real lives we have peace? Like, why would we come here to deal with all of this banter, vitriol? It's not healthy. It's a toxic place. It's not fun to come here anymore. And then you close it out and your life is peaceful. And it's like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Why would we even bother coming here anymore? And you know what the answer is every time for me? It's the good people that I've met, the people that I've formed relationships with and friendships with, who I care about. There's really good people here too. And you know what? We're surrounded by all of them right here. And when are we going to block out the other side and just start ignoring them and icing them out? Like I've said this before, and I know it's hard, and I know that we fall back into the same patterns, but it's almost like a drug. You come here and you say, I'm not dealing with this person, right? But then you end up a week later going back and dealing with it. And until all of us can come to a resolution where we unsubscribe all of these people's channels and stop watching, it's not going to work. And not everyone's going to do that. So it's never going to end. We either have to leave this community and never look back and go somewhere else, or we're just going to stay here and rot in this fucking cesspool of pig shit.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I went over to Sunbury Housewives. I kind of came in the middle of their live last night. That was the best stream that I've been in a long time. It was so
nice.
And Blonde PT said to me, MO3, this is the reason we came to YouTube, this right here. And that was so true. There was laughing, there was, it was just a good time. So the best thing that happened out of this horrible situation with Diane and all that was being able to branch out to people like Sunbury, PF, Sweet 66, Hopey Dopey, Cats Rules, all these girls from the OG, because they're just real. They're not going to sit on a panel and bash and attack and lie. And, from what I've seen of them, and I've unsubbed
I've had a great experience with all those ladies.
But they keep going. Like I said, I ignored the lives last week with the going the real life on Eric and the going, with the BTS put me in her. I ignored all that. I can ignore the bullshit like that. But don't go for kids. Don't.
No, none of us are going for theirs. Why would they do that?
And pushing you until you do respond. And then when you respond, you're a horrible person because you responded.
Right. I don't understand. I don't attack people's children. I don't know why. I really don't know why she's doing that. And you've never attacked. I've never heard you talk about or speak on hers.
Never.
Have you ever?
Never. I've never spoken on anyone's children on this platform. And what I did 2.5 years ago, that was done in private. You know, that
Right,
was
all these people saying, "Oh, Tiffany said this about Laura's kids. Tiffany said this about Laura's kids." That was said in a private voice chat, so it's null and void here. I never pushed a narrative on YouTube. I never came to YouTube and pushed this on anyone. Never talked about it. I did in private talk about it, but that means nothing here. Don't run around saying that I said anything on YouTube that I didn't. Your private message means nothing, literally means nothing, because it didn't happen here. So if you're going to say
Right.
I said something, make sure you say Tiffany said that in private. She never came to YouTube to push it. She said it in private. Big difference. So these people are morons.
Right. Well, it was said yesterday about somebody. Well, I'm just having to come to YouTube to clear up rumors that people are spreading that my husband left me. No, you
My
put
God.
that out there. You put that out there. Nobody's spreading that. You said that on a live panel. What are you talking about that you're having to clear rumors up? It's not a rumor. It came from straight from the horse's mouth. That's the kind of stuff that I just can't roll with. I just can't roll with people like that just lie so flawlessly and put shit out there about people that they know is not true. And I've said it for a month, for a year and months now, that they're going to cause someone to get hurt or someone's going to hurt themselves. And I want no part of that. None whatsoever. And if that makes me a bad person, then so be it. If that makes me a horrible person, then so be it. But I've just seen too much vile and nastiness going on. That was, you go lower, they go lower. You go lower, it's just tit for tat. Where does it stop? When someone hurts themselves or you get someone hurt?
I don't know. I don't know when it stops. Yeah, I don't think it's going to.
Wrong with that behavior. You see nothing wrong with it. So how can it be changed and stopped if you see nothing wrong with it? You know, your attitude and behavior is like a flat tire. You get a flat tire in a car, the car's not moving. It's not going to move until you change that tire. So if you're not willing to change your attitude and your behavior, you're not going forth in life. You're never going to grow. You're never going to move forward because you're stuck in a rut. So for people that can't see their own behavior, how can you change it?
You can't.
So I don't understand.
Well, listen, you came and told everybody like the deal this morning, and I think you've made it really clear. You said you never talked about her kid.
Never.
So hopefully she'll hear this, and maybe, I don't know. I'd like to say like hopefully maybe like she'll apologize or whatever, but I don't have much hope for that. I'm not sure how to handle this.
Because the people that know me know that I wouldn't do that. That I'm not going to blatantly lie on you. I'm not going to make up something about you. I'm not going to target you. I'm not going to put a target on your back. The worst I'm going to do is have an opinion. That's it. That's it. So I just want the same respect. If you have an opinion of me, fine, but don't lie on me.
I know,
Don't
I
talk
agree
to
with
my
you.
children as if you know my children or my relationship, as if you're living in my home. I'm very proud of what me and my husband have done. We're batting 3 out of 4. They're all educated. One's in her sophomore year of college. The other 2 have moved past college, got married, homeowners, have careers. We're very proud of what we've accomplished through our parenting. And so for you to come on here and act as if you know our relationship with our children, or
But that's the thing. She doesn't know the relationship that you have with your children because she's not ever talked to you or like been on the phone. She actually knows the relationship that I have with mine. She actually knows, like, and then to lie about me like that, I'm like, wow, man, like, I don't understand why you hate me this much that you have to resort to lying about me. Like, to even say, Tiffany, even if she said that I smoked a cigarette in front of my son, that okay, fine, you got me. I smoked a cigarette in front of my son because I have smoked cigarettes. But like, to say that I smoke in my house, never. Never have I ever smoked in the presence of my son because he has asthma. Then to say on top of it that I smoke weed in my house around my son, you've got me fucked up. But you've got you, who she doesn't know your relationship with your son, but then she knows the relationship that I have with mine. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying and it's frustrating because
Very much
it
so.
just gets worse. It gets worse and worse. Like, to
And
hear
then when
someone
you know
actually
that
lie.
people know the truth and still don't correct it, that's even more
Yes,
annoying. And just why would you let somebody run with that? Just nip it in the bud and be done with it.
I know. I forgot all about it. That's why I brought it up here today, because I'm like,
standing over here crying every day. Kids are off limits. Why are you speaking on my kids? Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I would
Leave me
never
alone.
turn around
Speaking with
and
people, and they might leave you alone.
shit on people's parenting. Like, why? Why? I've never done that to her and never would. I would never talk shit about somebody being a parent or anything like that. Why do it to me? Do you hate me that much? Fine. Okay. Then you know what? Just stop talking about me. Like, just leave it alone. Move on. I don't make up stories about you. Don't make stories up about me. End of. You know what? She doesn't know your kid. You don't know hers. You don't talk about her. She doesn't talk about yours. Why is it so hard?
Right. Or if you're in a chat and a creator says something, you're automatically a horrible person. Just
Hold on. Who's
because
this person?
that doesn't mean I support everything they say or do.
This Tina M person says, come on, Tiffany, you know MM is a great mother and you let MGL badmouth her and laugh. What do you mean I let MGL badmouth her and laugh? I've never said she's not a good mother. I've never said that at all. Ever. And if I'm laughing on a panel, usually I'm laughing at the fucking chat because it's funny as fuck to read what people are. Don't take my laughing at anything. Or I'm laughing at a specific thing. Unless you know exactly what I'm laughing at, don't ever come at me sideways and say I'm laughing at someone, calling someone a bad mother. I don't believe I've ever done that. And I've never spoke ill on her child, and I've never spoke ill on her being a parent, ever. So I'm a little twisted up on what you're talking about and I also don't control other people here. I don't let somebody say something or laugh. Okay, I can't control what other people do, but I know I can only speak for me, and I've never attacked her parenting and never will. Okay, she can attack mine all day long. Fine. All I know is I don't do that to her, and that's what he's going to say.
These trolls need to be careful and what they come in and say and the names they're coming in and saying them under, because some of y'all forget that we know your troll accounts.
Sure,
we were friends at one time. So Tina M, I know exactly who you are. So be careful.
I'm not here to correct people, Tina M, all day long. So I don't even know what was said or what you're referring to. Can you put in the chat what I laughed at? What exactly was said that I laughed at?
But how can you be responsible for what somebody else says?
They always do that. They always do. Always.
Just
I don't get on here.
All done things we shouldn't have done, said things we shouldn't have done. It was definitely a learning lesson for me to come on social media. When my mother passed away, it was a way for me to pass time sitting in the ICU waiting area till the next visiting hour. My husband doesn't do any social media because of his job, none whatsoever. So it was all new to me. I didn't realize people go into your lives, and
I didn't either.
I didn't know any of that. It was all new to me. Definitely
Uh-huh.
some lessons learned, but it's
Yeah,
different.
I've learned a million lessons, and I feel like we learn one every day.
Right.
You know what I
Is
mean?
there
Like, we're constantly learning a new lesson here.
lessons and keep repeating those same mistakes over and over and over. You can't compare to people that have had changed behavior. You're never going to see me intentionally hurt someone, attack someone, target someone, go after someone over and over and over and over. You won't see me speaking on someone else's kids, their parenting. I'm just not that type of person. And if I said it, I'll tell you I said it. If I did it, I'll tell you I did it. And that's where my
said it and did it in private, but I didn't do it here. People saying I did it here.
Reached out to me. She's on my Facebook. As far as I know, me and Mandy Lynn had no issues. She's a friend of mine on Facebook. I've left her there, so she has a way of getting in touch with me. She could have reached out to me. Hey, what was this that happened in this Discord? She knows me well enough that I would have said X, Y, and Z happened. Nothing to do with you. If I hurt you or offended you, I'm sorry. End of, be all, and we could have moved on. Nope, it had to be brought public, turned into something it wasn't, trying to prove a point that we're so bad people, and they're not. It's the right fighter mentality, and the shit is old. It is old.
Amanda Lynn is in the chat and wants a link.
Is Pepper still in here?
Oh, I have it, actually.
Okay.
I sent it to myself, so I can put it in the chat. Oh, I don't think I can. I'm not a wrench.
Kiki, link.
Maybe Kiki can put it
I
in
think
there.
it's in Discord.
Real quick, Tina M. MGL was saying MM sleeps in and doesn't take care of her kid, and something about medication, and Tiffany's on panel giggling, and MO3, geez, I'm no troll. I've been here. Okay, I was giggling on a panel. What else was going on the panel? Like, what was going on in the chat? I don't even know what you're talking about, that I was giggling. Giggling? Really? Where did I ever demean her as a parent? Find that and then come talk to me. Don't come at me for giggling. I don't know what I was giggling at. So that's a little far-fetched. No? Are you reaching, Tina?
Right. I think
Maybe
that MGA and Makeup Mobster both has said a lot of equal things about each other and their kids and their homes. And I mean, let's just be real here. Like, is it right? No, it's not right, because it shouldn't be done.
I don't listen. I haven't gotten in the habit of attacking her motherhood, and I'm not going to now. That's not my thing. Okay. We could fight about other things, but I would never attack her child or her and her child. That's not, I don't.
Hold on.
No.
Let me take my earbuds off. I'm sorry. I can't hear. Let me take my earbuds off. Hold on. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I can hear you.
okay. So, hey, British. So, maybe I didn't handle that right, but I even said in the chat last night that, I don't know if you've seen this, but I said, hey, I get how it happens. You know, you share things on a voice chat. Like, you know, when you're talking about something or whatever, and you share it to show something. I even said that in the chat last night.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I did say that, and I've said that to, you know, I told Kiki that privately. Like, if, you know, you're talking about someone on voice chat, you need to show it. Whatever. I just wanted to make sure it was out of there. Maybe I didn't handle it right. You know, okay. But I don't have an interest in this big war that's going on. Like, there's enough people fighting, you know, that
Yeah,
I don't have an interest in that.
Right. I mean,
Hey,
I think you know me well enough. If I did it or said it, I would have said, yeah, I did it. And, you know, this is why it happened or whatever. And if you would have said, hey, you know, it bothered me or what, then I would have apologized and moved on. But it definitely wasn't towards you or Starlight, or it just happened to be on the same screenshot with me trying to prove a lie that was being told. And it was retracted as soon as it was seen to prove the point. End of. That's all that happened.
Okay, yeah, that's totally. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you had seen that. I did say that last night. I said we've all, shown stuff in a voice chat, like, or when we're talking on a voice chat, and it wasn't even really what was intended to be shown. Like, I said that last night, right before I went to bed. But I don't have this like an interest in this big war that's going on, because I did consider, like, you, especially like you and Kiki, friends. I spoke to Kiki yesterday. We're good. We don't have to be friends, but I don't have an interest in going back and forth with you. That's why a
No,
lot of times if you're brought up,
I
I
was kind
mute.
of because I'm like, as far as I knew, we didn't have an issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to. That's why a lot of times if you're brought up, I do mute, or I just don't come. I drop off the panel.
Hey, you were not on panel last night when the son was brought up. I did say that. I said, let me make that clear. Mandy Lynn was not on that panel. She had already got off.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was said. I had to actually ask people, like, what was, why. I had no idea. I wasn't in there. But I just wanted to come up. I have no interest in a big fight with you, Kiki, and Pepper. Like, if I consider, I actually considered you guys like really good friends. I don't, at one time in my life, I don't want to like do this big back and forth thing. We don't have to be best friends. We don't even have to be friends, but I don't have an interest in fighting with any of you guys. So I wanted to make that 100% clear. I wasn't in there when whatever was said about your kid. I didn't hear it. I left, relatively early last night. So
No, you do pop in and out, the baby wakes up or whatever. I do know that you do that. And I did say that. I said, I do want to make it clear that Mandy Lynn was not on that panel when it was said.
okay, good. Because yeah, I wasn't, and I just see this is going to get really ugly if it keeps going like it is, and it doesn't need to go there. One time or another, most of us have considered each other friends. Like, there's certain people that just peace is not. I don't feel like peace is possible right now, but I don't want to fight with y'all right now. So that's just that. I wanted to come up and maybe I didn't handle it right, and I was like really nervous, and I tried to be really nice about it when the shirt came up. And I do understand how things like that happen in the voice chat. All of us have done that.
Just didn't want
Everyone's guilty of it.
for something that I did. But it wasn't aimed at you or Starlight at all. It just happened to be on there. I didn't think of cropping it because I knew they'd been shown before. I didn't really think somebody was going to run with it, make something out of it that it wasn't. But you know me well enough to know that I don't drop screenshots just to drop them. Like, I just don't do that. So it just threw me off guard because I'm like, why wouldn't she ask me? I would have told her what happened. It had nothing to do with her or Starlight. Like, it was to prove a lie that was being told from Laura almost a year ago. That's how long ago it happened. So I was just shocked that they just now took it to y'all.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know when it happened. I thought it had happened like a couple months ago, but again, I don't want to hog your panel. I don't want to, I know that there's like a lot of people here that don't even like me, and that's fine. I just didn't want, it doesn't need to, like, this is, there's a lot of bigger things going on YouTube than
Absolutely.
back and forth with you people you ever considered a friend is how I feel about it. So, I have no interest in fighting. I just wanted you to know that. So, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I'm going to jump down. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. So yeah, I do want to make that clear. Lynn was not on that panel when my son was brought up last night. She was not in the clip that I have. So I do want to put that out there. And I do know that she steps away and she's not watching the chat or listening. We were friends. And so I do know that happens. So I do want to just put that out there. But either way, kids shouldn't be brought up. We shouldn't be doing that.
No,
I mean, especially with the dangerous things that are going on here now. I mean, that shouldn't even be.
The other day, someone actually, when I was, I even said in my chat, I don't want people talking about anybody's kids in my chat. I don't want it in there. I caught something really quick. And I caught something really quick and I said, please remove what you just wrote. I didn't have my phone with me, but I said, please don't talk about her kid in my chat, because we have to stop that cycle. Like, as channel holders, we all have to stop that cycle in our own chats. Like, kids are off limits. When mods see people talking about other people's kids, just take it out. Tell them, please don't talk about people's kids. Like, I think that as a community, we could at least do that. As
Right.
parents, as mothers, like, we've got to leave the babes out of it. Absolutely, 100%. Okay.
I agree.
No more talking about people's kids. It's just, I mean, stop throwing kids out there. Stop throwing them around like a sack of potatoes. They're ours. You know, as much as I might be fighting with someone, but if someone comes in my chat and starts saying, oh, she's a bad mother or this, that, like, I don't want that in my chat. You know what I mean? And if we don't stop it, it'll keep going on as a vicious cycle. And we don't always catch things either while we're up on panels speaking and something might be in a chat. That's why we have moderators. If moderators see people in chats talking about other people's kids, just pluck it out of the chat, time them out and tell them, I timed you out. Please don't talk about kids. They get the warning and they won't do it again. You know what I mean? Like, we've got to start somewhere. Maybe we can start with the kids.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, we've got to do something different, because what we're doing now is not working. And it seems like people are getting hurt on the daily on here, rather it be emotionally. You know, we don't know if someone's hurting themselves physically, you know, but we definitely know there's emotional hurt going on daily on here. Because even though you're attacking someone and they say how strong they are, some things hurt. Words hurt.
Yeah. I have my weak moments. I have my weak, you know, I have weak spots. By now, most people know what those are. But, you know, and then you've got people who are like, oh, I love triggering her. Or I know exactly what buttons to press. Well, you know what? I do too, but it doesn't mean that I would use it. Why? You know what I mean? Like, why? It
Right.
is
Well,
what
it's
it
like,
is.
you know, Laura, everybody's on this Laura, you know, and I give credit where it's due. I've seen Laura try to step back, not engage, you know, try not to go back and forth. I've seen her try to do it for weeks now. For weeks.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's not hidden secret. Me and Laura don't see eye to eye. Sometimes we do. She'll text me, I'll text her. That's never been a hidden secret. If we have an issue with each other, or, you know, there's something that she needs to know, or I got an issue or I need to know. And I mean, but to say, well, they're besties, or I don't even go in Laura's chats, you know? So, I mean, the rumors and the lies are just, they have to stop. Yeah. I mean, and the hurting people, it has to stop. Talking about people's kids or their marriage, or, yeah, I don't agree with anybody talking about that stuff. They're not on YouTube. Leave them out of it.
I agree. We all come here alone. We don't bring our, you know, we don't bring our families with us. We don't bring our, well, most of us. I mean, some people, listen, some people are more open. They do show their life. They show their kids, or they let their kids speak on here. But when you know that, you know, you don't bring your kids on YouTube, I'll even say Mandy Lynn, I've never heard her kids on YouTube. She doesn't put her kids on YouTube.
Nope.
I don't put my kid on YouTube. Kiki doesn't put her kid on YouTube. I've never heard Marsha's kids on YouTube. Like, there's, you know, already who puts their kids on YouTube, who's shown them, and who hasn't.
Hopi Dopey, when I was on panel with her a couple weeks ago, she said something that resonated with me. We were talking about Laura and her saying that Laura was the new TT. And I said, now, come on, Hopi. You know, sometimes Laura makes it easy, because we all know that Laura says things that most people wouldn't say sometimes. And Laura knows that. She's admitted to it. And Hopi said back to me, she said, Mommy of three, but hey, this woman puts her life out there for us to see, whether it be entertainment, whether it be just to have an inside bird's view. She puts her whole life on camera. How many of us, if we put our whole life on camera, wouldn't be getting the flack that she gets?
But that's the thing. When
And
you
that's the truth.
see, yeah, when you see what has happened to other people and how, you know, they've been attacked with their kids or their children have been attacked, you're gonna instantly want to protect yours, and you're gonna keep them off here because you've seen what's happened to other people. So like way back when Molly Golightly started her channel, she was like an open book, cammed up, shows her house, everything. And you see, you know, certain people's lives. Laura has let her, you know, her kid on YouTube to talk about makeup one time. Like, there's certain people who have opened up part of their lives with us. And we, as viewers, I mean, I was just a viewer back then, we get to see what has happened. And that's why people take the stance that they do and they keep their kids away, because they don't want their children to be on here and being attacked, or you being attacked for having your kids on here or anything. You know what I mean? It's just a bad situation when in this community, you've got people who seem not to have those boundaries. Like, they seem not to have any kind of moral compass when it comes to where to draw the line, where not to go, like what road not to go down. You know, could I turn around and fire back at someone for saying something about my kid? Yeah, but why would I want to? So to keep it going, it'll never stop. You know?
Correct. Right. And that's what I don't want to do. I'm not going to go back and forth.
No.
I just don't have the time or the energy to invest. You know, I don't want a YouTube channel. I don't want any part of that. But it seems like people are forced into having a voice, you know, and the only way to have a voice is to either drop a video or to go live to correct
so
what
true.
people are putting out here. And it's such a dangerous and toxic community right now that I don't want to be lied on, or my kids to have targets on them, or me to have targets on them when stuff's being put out there that's absolutely not true.
No, because it's our responsibility to protect them. You know, it's our responsibility to protect our children. And like I said earlier, to protect other kids, you know, even if it's someone you hate. And listen, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not sitting up here saying I've never made a mistake. I've made plenty, but I'm not going to attack Makeup Mobster's kid because she talked about mine. I'm not doing it. I refuse to do that. If she wants to make lies up and tell stories, fucking have at it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the person you want to be, whatever. I'm not. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
You can come giggling on a panel, but you'll never be able to say that I said anything about her parenting. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely not.
But listen, I really appreciate that you had me up, and I really just I wanted to come up so that I wanted to speak on Irish Gal. And listen, she has her flaws too. You know what I mean? It's not like she's never had a beef with anybody, right? I'm sure she's had arguments with people and stuff, but like, how low are you going to go with this lady? Don't do that to her, man. But I heard you talking about all this, and Steph went pretty hard at her last night, and I don't know. It's getting really ugly. Don't tackle people for their disabilities, their pain, their suffering. Can't you pick something else? No, Tracy, the same thing.
I agree.
I didn't know that your kids were talked about. I had no idea, Mommy of Three. I didn't know, and
yeah, I didn't know until this morning. I was sleeping when that happened, so I had no clue.
Yeah, I didn't hear that, but hopefully
I didn't hear the part about Irish Girl either. You know, I don't watch I don't watch a lot of them. And, unless it's brought to me, and even a lot of the people I'm friends with are, don't tell mommy of 3 that, you're just going to get her upset and mad. But like I've told some of them, some things I need to know. I need to
when
know.
it has to do with your kids, of course you want to know.
You know, like the racist stuff. I needed to know that. My kids, I need to know. You know, now if it's just throwing tomatoes and they're just talking a little, I don't care. That's just back and forth. I'm not going to back and forth with somebody. Just let them say, you know, kind of like last week with the bull crap about looking up area. Whatever. Think what you want to think.
We pick our battles. You know what I mean? Like we pick our battles, what's important. Some things I will like completely just ignore, whatever. They'll talk about it for a week and I'm like, I don't even care about this. It's so stupid. I couldn't care less. But then certain things I do care about, you know, there are certain things I do care about that I can't let slide, you know, and your kids are always going to be your heart. And that's where you're going to fire back. That's when you come out like with your mom clause. And that's for anybody. I think any mother.
Right. And I would definitely not sit on a panel or be in a chat where other people's kids or any of their personal lives being discussed and be okay with that. I wouldn't be okay with that. Or if someone's getting lied on, I'm not going to sit there and run with that when I know that that's not true. I'm going to correct it. Yeah, and I think that's where we need to start somewhere. And I know a lot of it's just entertainment. It's just fun. It's gone past the entertainment and the fun. It's been past that. It's not entertainment anymore. It's not fun anymore. It's got scary and it's got sad.
I know.
And it's been that way for months. And like I said, I'm really appreciative and thankful for the Sunbury Housewives. If you're not sub to them, you should be.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're so fun and they're so nice and they're very welcoming. They're really cool girls, Shell and MJ. I like them a lot. And they,
and like, you know, different, they're getting all these new people in their chats, you know, and you see the difference. They're welcoming, and over here, oh, there's a troll, get them out of here. Yeah. And it's like, what? And a lot of these people aren't trolls. They're scared to use their own names. I'm in a Discord with a few of these girls that are so scared and they're so vulnerable right now because they are in recovery that they don't want to use their real names. They're scared to use their real
names. Don't think about either is I noticed a lot of people started changing their names after the whole St. Jude debacle. And I'm wondering, I wonder how many people actually gave their information and they're just afraid now. And they're like, shit, I can't go in there and say what I want to say because Diana has my address and my name. And, you know, people do get scared. Everything flashes before them and they're afraid to have an opinion under their own name. So we're going to go through that whole phase where everyone's changing their names now. We don't know who certain people are, but they might be someone that we're really fond of. They might be someone we're not fond of who changed their mind or whatever, but people are coming in under names we don't know. And we shouldn't just assume that people are trolls because people are changing their YouTube names now and coming back as a different name because they don't feel safe here.
Nope. Or, you know, when you've got creators going through comment sections and using their comments as content and calling them out on their opinions. And a lot of people don't like that. I mean, it's not only humiliating them publicly, but you're bashing them for just an opinion and you're making it a public spectacle. I mean, so a lot of people changing their names because they don't want to be called out on a screenshot or in a comment section or a comment thread. And that seems to be a new thing around here. Going into the comment sections and making a whole lab about it. You know, we don't have to agree with people's opinions, but we don't have to call them out for them either and make a whole spectacle on them.
For Irish Gal because she doesn't have a channel and like they're running a full stream last night on, you know, a lot of that had to do with Irish Gal. And I'm like, I'm thinking she doesn't even have a panel. Like she doesn't have a channel. So I texted her and I said, hey, I just wanted to make sure you're okay. And I want you to know that I'm here if you need anything. And if you ever need my channel, I'm here. That's it. Like, I want her to know she's not alone, because I remember what it was like to be a subscriber and not have my own channel. And all you have is a chat to defend yourself in. It's hard as a sub,
It's
you
hard.
know. Yeah, to defend yourself and to get your truth out in 200 characters, or get lost in a chat, or timed out, right? Like, if Irish Gal or Tracy or you was to go into that chat last night and say, hey, blah 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 blah, blah, and get timed out, how do you get your message across? How do you clear it up? How do you talk about it? You can't. That's why it's hard to be a subscriber. So, you know, I don't
Or
know.
you get
I mean,
attacked, or I'm not going into a chat where I know I'm going to be attacked, or I'm the topic of conversation and there's 3 or 4 people on panel, to where I'm going to put myself on their playing field. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to win. I'm not going to get my point across.
Yep.
So I won't even
No,
put
we don't
myself in
even
a
get our point
situation
across
like that.
when we panel up. We can't even come on panel. It's still not good enough. Like, they still don't get it. I'm sure after this, I would like to be like, oh, I know that after this live stream, it'll settle down and things will get better. But every
Oh, it's
time
not.
you get on another panel, it's another 3 months of something you fucked up, like something you said that wasn't perfect. And it's like nitpicking and bullshit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, you've got people that wake up just to do this
yeah,
kind of stuff every day. I mean, I see, like, on my way to work in the mornings, I'll listen to a stream that I missed, and I hear the creator, because I can't see the chat because I'm driving, but I'll hear the creator like call out a troll account. And I'm thinking in my head, like, it's 7:30 in the morning. Like, use Carla's chat, for example. She always goes live early in the mornings, and they're coming in there and they're, and trolling her. And I'm thinking, you rolled out of bed just to go into a chat and you're waking up being angry. You're waking up being mean. You're waking up being vile, or you didn't even go to bed. A lot of people
I'm
probably don't
not
even
a
go to
morning
bed.
person, so I can't get on YouTube at 8 o'clock in the morning to do a stream. I'll be like one eye open and in a miserable mood. I need like 6 cups of coffee to get going.
Right. But I'm thinking in my head, did they wash their face and brush their teeth before they
Nope.
came in at 7:30 to be ugly to somebody? I mean, I can't fathom stuff like that. I mean, you're waking up angry. You're already going at 7 o'clock in the morning at somebody. That's terrible.
I think that COVID and being locked, on lockdown, and a lot of people's schedules got thrown off. So they were up later, or they're staying up late through the night into the morning, still awake, who knows, from the night before, talking shit or whatever. But I think that the way that things have gone, people are a little bit more depressed because they've been in the house. But luckily, spring is here. The cherry blossom tree in my yard is completely full, and that means summer's coming. So I think that once people are out, they've got stuff to do and laying in the sun, you're going to feel a little better. You know what I mean? COVID hit us. We were locked in, and then winter came. You know what I mean? And I think that it's taken a toll on everyone. I don't think there's anyone who hasn't been affected in some way. Even if it's just mentally, hay fever, feeling like, you can't visit with friends or whatever, but that's kind of getting better now. And maybe things will start to turn around. Maybe we'll see a difference in the community once people are going to the beach and getting fresh air, going out, taking walks or whatever. I'd like to see people maybe calm down a little bit now that we can get back to some kind of normalized life with being outdoors for the summer. Hopefully it'll help a little bit.
Yeah, I have like I'd say 90% of my lab work, vitamin D's are low.
Yeah.
And it's because they're not getting outside. They're not getting any vitamin D. They're not out in the sun. They're on lockdown. So I agree. It has been a hard year, and people do have a lot more time on their hands than they are used to. And You know, the saying is idle in hands is the devil's work. So,
Yeah.
but we just have to do better. I mean, we have to, you know,
We'll do
or
better.
someone's going to get hurt.
I mean,
Or
I
their
try to
families.
do better than I do before. You know, I try not to make the same mistake over and over again. I know I've made the same mistake over again before, but I try to do better each time. And sometimes I fail at that too. But I really don't think that it's this serious, that the attacks that are being made really need to be as bad as they are. And I really do feel strongly about attacking a group of older women. Come on. God.
Well, I was watching a video on Twitter I think it was a couple weeks ago. A girl had a welfare check, and she was saying, you know, thank God that she was having a good day that morning when they showed up to her door, and that she had got the kids dressed and they had breakfast and her house was clean, and that she wasn't in one of her bad days.
Right.
Because
kids run
they could
around
have
with like
easily yanked the
chocolate
kids
on their
out of it.
face.
Right. You know, that's what she was saying. They didn't have ice cream all over them. They wasn't still in their wet diapers from the night before. Like, thank God that I wasn't having one of my bad depressed days and hadn't got motivated yet.
Yeah.
Because they would have yanked my kids right out of my home based off of some YouTube banter or for me having an opinion. I would have lost my children. And that's scary. That is scary to think about.
And that's why I think that's why there's not a lot of quality content, because people don't want to open up here. And we'd probably have way more channels with people that we absolutely adore doing YouTube channels. If it wasn't such a toxic community, maybe we'd have more creators by now. Maybe it wouldn't be such a doom and gloom type of place if people felt a little bit more comfortable. But I think that's kind of just off the table at this point. It's become worse and worse. And I just said this yesterday. I don't think that there's any end in sight. And I'm not sure, like, what is there to stay for anymore other than the people we like? Like, what's there to stay here for? Not really much.
Yeah, I heard that on I was watching Sweet 666's channel this morning. And somebody on her, I think it was Amber K, said that same thing. And I was like, it was heartbreaking to hear. She's been here for so long, and to feel like that she you know, is going to leave. You know, nobody should feel like they have to leave. I mean, we're all here for a reason, whether it be to meet people, to get support. I know that there's a few people that I'm close to without YouTube or their little group of friends. Lord only knows where they would be. This is all they have.
See,
They don't have
Jill
family.
said, if I had kids, I would never have said half of what I do for that reason.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is a gamble getting on here. It really is, when you have things to protect and you have something to lose, and, you know, a life. And people want to preserve that, and they hold their private life sacred, and some more than others. Some people are more open. Some people are more, I'm a more private person, you know what I mean? But not everybody's that way. And some people don't even show their real picture. Like, some people just come out of the cartoon. Not talking about Diane. I'm just talking about, like, some creators don't cam up anymore. They don't even have a regular picture. It's just a regular
Well, not calling out Dragon Doll, but she's got a cartoon avatar, and she's a wonderful person. Wonderful person.
Yep. That's what I mean. And honestly, that's a really good idea. It's a smart thing to do. And I can't blame anybody for turning around and changing their name with a brand new picture. No one knows who you are. I can't even fault anybody for doing that. It's the way that things have turned here. And there's people here that are causing a lot of division who we're not even familiar with. And we're like, who's this person? Why are they coming after this person or that person? We've never even known this lady. You know what I mean? Yeah, you stay for the people that you adore, Kiki. Yeah, I totally get it. Totally.
Yeah, a lot of us do.
Uh-huh. But I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off here
go.
because my daughter's just come in to get her laundry and head back to the
Aw.
dorm.
Well, have fun, enjoy your day, and have fun doing your mom thing. And that must be exciting.
It
Well,
is.
kind of sad at the same time, right?
It's kind of bittersweet. That's
I
what
would
I say.
imagine.
Got little ones, enjoy them.
I know. Getting like all this college mail, and I'm like I'm crying inside because I'm praying to God he stays close to home. Oh well,
Hold
what are
on
you
just
gonna
a second. Yeah, hold on.
do? Some decorum when firing up a life. Truly sit down with yourself and think to yourself, is it really worth saying these things? Validate yourself enough to know that when things are, I'll wait for the rest, Winky. Yeah, you're right. Oh, spewed, it changes everything. It does. I've learned that over time.
Yeah, it definitely does.
All right, Mommy 3. Thank
All right,
you for
girl.
everything. I hope you have a better day today and
Thank
everything.
you.
Yeah,
You
you
too.
feel better now that you got it all off your
I
chest.
do.
All
Yeah.
right. All right, bye guys.
Bye, Tiffany. Bye, chat.
Bye.
Thank y'all for coming. I hope y'all have a good day.